Podcast, a platform created to entertain, educate, and evolve the modern-day deer hunter. What is it?
A Right Brain CEO Stout.
Like a coffee stout?
Stout brewed with real coffee beans.
Thanks, I'm going to have one. I'm finishing up my bourbon. And
it's delicious. It's for the man, working man.
What time do you have to get up, you said? What time do you need to get out of here?
Oh, I like no later than like 10:30.
10:30?
What time is it now?
How about 11?
Yeah, that's fine. About 90 minutes.
Wow.
I got to get up at 4 a.m.
Me too.
I like to get at least 5 hours. Is that too much to ask for?
This could be a good debate. Come on. What else you got for him?
No, I'm actually a fan of a decent night rest nowadays.
What time? I actually got up really early this morning. Usually I'm definitely sleeping way later than you guys, but I got up at 3:30 this morning.
You've been waking up early.
I had to take Shannon to the airport because she went to California for a conference.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going to get up until 4. And Shannon got up at 3:30. She had some loose ends to tie up before we could go. And she came flying into the bedroom, distressed wife voice. And I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? She's like, there's a fucking bat in the house. And there was a pretty big bat. I had a little bat in the house like a year ago. It must come in from the chimney liner.
Yeah.
I'm figuring at night the pilot's running, so there's just a little bit of heat going up that chimney, and they must feel that and think they're going to investigate to see if that's a place to camp out or something. But this was a big bat. Genetically gifted.
I think it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Boone and Crockett bat.
And
you need Ozzy.
It was clipping around the living room, and it's 3:30, I'm dead asleep, and the cats are running and jumping off the ottoman and the couch and batting at it, and DC actually gave it a good crack, and I thought the thing was going to go down, but it recovered.
Whoa.
And, I didn't want the cats to get bit. Like,
right.
It just doesn't seem like a good idea. I didn't want to get bit, and this thing's just, it's amazing how they can navigate, man. Watching him clip through my living room and my dining room and stuff and zig and zag, but I figured if I could get through the living room and get the front door open, that he would find it pretty quickly because he was kind of spending some time in that area.
Did you have the classic bat defense kit of lampshade over your head and tennis racket at this point?
I wish.
Great outdoor style.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to come out to the garage and get a fishing net. But then I remembered that when my garage got broken into, someone stole my fishing net. So I was rendered defenseless. So I army crawled. I laid on my little tummy.
Wow.
Army crawled across the living room, busted the door open, and within 15 seconds, that thing found the open door and was gone.
Nice.
I
Nice
was
bat
like,
tactics.
I'm going back to bed. so I laid back down, for 10 minutes, never fell back asleep. But I've been up
after that.
Been up since then. So, and it's been a crazy day.
Do you have any bite marks on your neck?
No, I looked.
Can you still see yourself in a mirror?
Do you sparkle in the sunlight?
There's things I have to check tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you stop bathing?
Not today. I'm working a lot. Everybody.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of you guys.
I had a whole week off. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, I've
It's
been
amazing.
jealous
Yeah,
watching
but
you on Instagram. I'm in northern Michigan. Actually, northern Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm basically as far north as you can go without going to Copper Harbor.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good trip, man. It was the most relaxing week I've ever had.
Nice weather and everything.
Yeah, I mean, 5 out of the 7 days it didn't rain, so you can't complain about that when you're sitting on Superior.
It's sweet to have at least 1 or 2 nice rainy days to justify just sitting inside doing some drinking, right?
Yeah, and we did. I mean, Amy put away beers every day. It was ridiculous. I was having trouble keeping up with her at times.
Wife drinking's great.
Yeah. No, it was a fun trip. And, you know, it was 80, sunny most of the days we were up there. Mid-70s to 80. But I've been up there before in August where it's 48, blowing 80 mile an hour, horizontal rain, you know, just destroying things in the town. So
that lake.
Caught
She's
a good
mystery.
week.
Oh, yeah.
I went to his cabin last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
When he was in
Nice.
the UP. Just shot up there to spend a little family time, and he said, nobody's been there since.
May.
And the grass was belly button high.
It was fawn bedding.
Gunner took off, off
Where'd
the
he go?
sidewalk.
Just see like a line through the grass.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Just
Killing them
doing,
GPS collars.
doing my part to protect this year's fawn herd from
There you go.
coyote.
Yeah.
There you go. They'll
predation.
hide nicely in there.
Yeah.
So that was super nice. So let's see, Saturday. I mean, we've been so busy, man. Like, getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night for probably going on 6 weeks or something like that. Just stupid, you know? So when we were up there Saturday, Gunner went to take a nap, and I got his lawnmower out and stuff, and I went inside, and Shannon was sleeping too. And both of them, pretty much slept the whole afternoon. So I started having a couple cocktails and doing yard work. Oh, I went to open the shed to get the lawnmower out, and hornets had built a nest between the door frame and the door. So when I opened the door, it ripped the nest right in half.
Get out of here.
Dude,
I hate those
my
things.
ass got lit.
Did you?
Got nailed.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I started cussing and swearing, running and swinging, and Shannon's like looking out the door, you know, like, what's he doing? You know, I'm like, bees! Like, get Gunner.
Get out the whiskey.
Yeah, 'cause they were
this
going,
hurts.
They were going everywhere. So, you know what works really good is toothpaste. I don't know what that deal is.
It was horn. I thought it was normally for just honeybees.
Baking soda in it or something.
We used to do on like regular bee stings.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
That's
know if the
all.
wasp
I was
hornets are the
desperate,
same.
and it seemed to work. Either that or the pain just hadn't set in yet, because I did that immediately and definitely like later in the day, and the next day it was just an itch fest, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere I got.
Yeah.
I think hornets bite, right?
Yeah, wasp hornets.
Yeah, they were yellow jackets.
Lit up before pretty bad.
I went back like an old Western movie with 2 cans of Black Flag. Just doused them.
Yeah, I went to the cabin Friday, the weekend after you, and it was nice. The grass was cut, everything
No
was
hornets'
clean.
nests.
No hornets.
Oh,
yeah.
hornets.
Nice relaxing
Pretty much
day.
a dream.
It's like, man, this place I left it pretty good last time I left here.
Nothing but a bunch of homeless fawns standing out front.
Oh, poor naked fawns.
We saw Saturday morning, I sat out on the sun porch and was reading the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, what is it, their quarterly journal?
Yeah, they do
didn't get it.
quarterly.
Yeah, so I sat out there, had coffee, read that, watched 2 nice doe and a couple fawn work through.
Mm-hmm.
And Gunner was trying to look through the binoculars, you know, he's not quite there yet, but he was trying to figure it out. And yeah, man, it was great.
Yeah.
Then Saturday we shot up to Mayo and just completely randomly came across there's a little flea market there on the weekends.
Yeah, I've been through it.
Dude.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So there was like some bows and arrows and tree stands, a bunch of old hunting clothing, and I started piling through the stuff, and I found that.
Little gem.
Yeah, grab it. Pull it over here real quick. Take a quick look at that. It's pretty slick, man. I'm excited about that.
See, anytime I've been through there, it's usually like mid-2000s kids movies.
No,
on
grab the
DVD.
tree stand. Dude, this
He's
guy.
like, what do I do with this bow? It's in pieces.
We'll get to that.
Is this
That's
how you-
next. I got the bow too, but isn't it? Throw your headphones back on.
Is that an aluminum?
Let's see. We'll put it up. We got the camera here now, so.
Aluminum.
If you're audio only, we're working on our first trial run of our YouTube feed for the podcast.
Wow, that does
So
look nice. Little
got a
compact deal.
freshly painted API aluminum tree stand sitting here on the bar. But yeah, look at that bracket.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
And this seat's new, right?
Yeah.
Somebody did that. Did they put this pipe wrap
Yeah, that's
stuff on there?
definitely not.
Yeah, it's like Armaflex.
I'd
Yeah.
say even these cables look.
They probably are replaced.
So I'm thinking that whoever sat in this
Shrink tubed it.
probably killed some deer out of it.
Those rivets look
You're
new.
going to kill some deer out of this thing.
Dude, I'm excited about that. All I have to do
Yeah.
is put a new strap on it, right? $20.
Yeah.
He
right.
wanted 25. I was like, ugh. It's a
Too
little
steep.
steep, man.
Steep for my blood.
I would have paid 25 in a heartbeat. No, he offered for $20. I would have given him full price.
I mean, a lone wolf's only another factor of 10 on top of that. So.
It's lighter than a, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
for
super
sure.
light.
I don't even have to pick it up. You can tell it probably weighs
Next to
probably
nothing.
11 pounds or
It's
10 pounds.
C-channel.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
I'm excited about
It's
it. I
Tube
can,
aluminum and C-channel.
I can strap that right to my backpack. Now all I need is a set of
Sticks.
This was the bee's knees when it first came out.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that seat.
Oh,
Well-
this whole setup, the
well-
lightness of it. It's
Its partner in crime's going to be that bow right
Oh, yeah.
there. I got a 1991 Bear Archery Black Bear, 50 pounds. And he had a couple old bows. I grabbed them. I was just going to put them up for decor
Uh huh.
in the studio here. And I pulled that one back, and I was like, whoa, it's really comfortable and perfect draw for me. So I brought it home, grabbed some aluminum arrows, and put 175 grain field tips on that and started winging arrows, and was just smacking those aluminum shafts together within a
Nice.
couple rounds, just traditionally shooting it, no sights, no nothing.
I
you
kind of
know?
miss shooting aluminum.
I liked
don't.
them.
I like it.
The arrows.
I'm all in. I got a whole assortment. I've been calling all the retired bow hunters that we know.
I got a bunch I should bring over for you.
I'm a firm believer of aluminum is good for boats and beer cans and nothing else. So.
Oh, they're great. They're true.
It carries voltage well.
Yeah.
Not as good as copper.
True.
Makes a great tree stand. Yeah,
It does make a good tree stand.
it does. You should do what we were talking about. You should start your season with your trad bow on the ground, and then go to your API and your bear, and then go to your compound.
Man,
That would be sweet.
So
Just
now
caveman it.
I went from having one bow to 3 bows, and I guy that listens to the podcast lives out in Battle Creek. His wife is actually responsible for it'll have already happened after people listen to this, because this episode will come out Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
but this Friday, Stephen Ranella is speaking in Battle Creek at one
Sweet.
of the schools.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
high
yeah, I
school?
saw that.
And so the guy, a fellow BHA member, contacted me on Facebook Messenger, and he had a bunch of, he had I think a half dozen and a full dozen of the Carbon Express Heritage
Mm-hmm.
390 spine, and we made a little deal, and he's gonna box them up and send them to me.
Oh, nice.
So I got arrows for the longbow, which is cool, from a fellow BHA member.
Right.
Yeah.
How kick-ass is that?
That's
That's
sweet.
cool.
Yeah. He's like, they're not doing me any good. They're just sitting here. He's like, I'd like to see you get them. I'm like, yeah, man. So I'm just accumulating everyone's old archery stuff. And now I just have to try to go out and kill a monster buck.
Trade you Jennings Buckmaster for that tree stand.
There you go.
Nope.
That's a heck of a deal.
No
that thing's a
deal.
beaut.
So, yeah,
I know
let's...
how Drew
Worst
feels
bow I've
about
ever
it.
shot.
Well,
I don't want to restring it
Hold
for
on,
you.
wait, just real quick. So, yeah, I'll talk with you guys. I want to collect anybody's old sights and rests and things that I have.
some. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured we did. I do too. I might even have what I need, but I'm going to put a quickie quiver on there, and I might use one of those sets of aluminums that I have, or I might order some.
I know a guy that's got a Jennings Buckmaster that's got everything on it that you want to put on that bow.
Hey, he's
nice.
talking turkey right now, man. That might
Wow.
be...
Because you want a new sight and rest anyways, so.
Hey, nothing holding arrow like an old bow doodle.
Somebody's selling a bow that,
Chop shop it.
well, we can get into that.
Rat bow.
But, yeah, so I want to put that thing
Yeah.
together and shoot a deer or two with it. And I think it'd be cool to pair the old API and the old bear and some aluminum shafts, and just get back to my roots.
Why not? It's all about fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
My carpet bow's just like that.
No, I was oddly excited about it. Like, it was, I cleaned the riser all up, and you saw I taped it off, gave it a fresh coat of paint, got to put the bow back together, wax the string up, put a peep in there.
That bow right there is still more advanced than any Oneida that's made even today. So, I mean, you're still ahead of a lot of companies.
I had no Oneida at one point.
Did you?
It never made the season. I was sighting it in, and it exploded on me. One of the little pins on the limbs, where it pivots, popped off, and it just broke the limb.
I remember.
Just went limp in my hand, basically.
Jason bought one just because he liked the way they looked. So we took it to a archery league that we were shooting in, and you get 20 guys in there bullshitting the whole time they're shooting, and you could hear every shot he took because the limbs would just smack down on that riser so loud. It was like somebody was shooting a starter pistol off in there. The whole
These
time.
things are insane.
Like shooting an Excalibur crossbow. Like, smack! Smack!
Al shot one for a while.
He still does. Well,
he?
that's what he has. I don't know if he shoots it or not.
Dan Infalt tell you a funny story about Oneida bows. I'm not going to get into it, but at some point, maybe we'll go in the spring to his workshop.
I'd love that.
Yeah,
That
we
would be
can
awesome.
Road
That'd be
trip.
cool.
He said we can build a hot tent in his yard, so we could just take a stove and take my teepee and
Go in the house, watch Strange Brew, and have some beers.
You know what, Dan? We'll get into Dan. I don't want to get into that yet.
It's a good movie.
Oh, the McKenzie brothers.
I thought that a cool section that we could start doing when us guys are together is maybe giving a little mechanical tip out. Like, because you're an electrician, I'm a plumber, know quite a bit about HVAC. Just like little things that we come across, because people like that general kind of information. I'm sure a lot of guys listen to it, probably think we're dipshits and it's stuff they already know, but there's some
We
people.
might be about some things.
I was just thinking about it today because I ran across this scenario. So check this out. Indian couple, locally, hot water heater was out, so they called a service guy out, and they don't know anything. And he came in, and he just kind of looked at it. She said he kind of kicked his foot at it a little bit. He's like, yeah, it's burned up. You need a new one.
I know that technique.
It's
That's when you're getting paid commission.
it's called commission.
You dirty.
It was 5 years old. It had never been serviced, and the flame sensor was dirty.
Oh.
So he wrote him a quote for $2,900 for a water heater.
That's gold lined. The heat transfers really quick with that gold, man.
Nope, it was a Bradford White 50-gallon power vent, and that's what he quoted it for, $2,900.
Come on.
Yeah, so
That poor lady.
yeah,
There's some crooks out there. You crooky crooks. That's horrible.
I bet you a lot of people don't know about flame sensors.
That's
That's what little
29.
emery cloth's for, clean it up. And
Yeah. So what it does is tells the gas valve that ignition has happened properly, correct? Like
Right.
that your electrode or spark igniter's not out, and then sends electrical charge signal to the board to hold the gas valve open.
a flame sensor a signal will transfer over between the rod using the flame as a conduit back to ground, and that proves that there's a flame.
Ha. See?
Yeah.
Tips.
it tells
I
whether
think
or
it
not
actually changes from like an AC to a DC signal.
So a flame sensor is different than a thermocouple.
Yeah, thermocouple actually. There's a liquid inside of the
Yeah, that's just
copper
a
thing.
probe that heats up with the pilot.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you have a standing pilot, you'll have a thermocouple.
Right.
Anything with electronic ignition will have a flame sensor. So our
Correct.
flame sensor was dirty. When the thing was coming on, it wasn't proving that it had ignited, so it was shutting off. Gave him a service ticket, pulled the burner, cleaned it, put it back in. Guy called my boss while I was standing there. He goes, "Hey, this guy needs a raise." He goes, Indian guy, accent, just cracking me up. He's like, "I want this guy to be boss of bosses. Best guy here. Best guy." He was so happy, because they had got a water heater. They didn't go with that guy, obviously. That's why I was there. I was there with a water
Right.
heater to install because we gave an estimate for $1,000 cheaper. And I was like,
Yeah, that's
you don't need a water heater. Like, we just need to service this thing. So $40 cash tip. and he's a vet. So he
Nice.
said bring the pets in if we need anything,
Oh,
and
nice.
gave me a can of Coke and Sprite that I'm gonna mix. Yeah, he said, "Oh, take 2 pops." I said, "No, I won't drink them." He said, "Well, just take them." I said, "Well, maybe I'll take them home and mix them with something and drink them tonight." So
Nice.
Thanks.
Can't beat that.
pretty
Thank
awesome.
you, customer. No, that's a really common thing too with furnaces. Too,
Furnaces.
nowadays.
I guess
People-
that's what I was getting at.
Right.
Anybody that ever wanted to know about what difference between a thermocouple and a flame sensor, and flame sensors will get dirty and your ignition will start, right? And then cut right off.
Right.
And it
Usually
might try to.
it'll maintain a cooler temperature than what your set point is, and it'll short cycle and turn off and on.
Right.
A lot, yeah.
Yep. So power vent water heaters and electronic ignition furnaces.
You saved me that one time in Rochester. I was getting ready for work in the morning, and I could hear the startup cycle go. Was it where it creates the suction, the draft?
Yeah, it's power vented, so it's not a natural draft. So
Yep.
they have to prove that there's a negative pressure in the flue for the carbon monoxide and all that to exhaust.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't make, then it won't even go into your ignition cycle.
Yeah, I was sitting there getting ready for work, making lunch, and I heard the startup cycle. I'm like, okay, I don't know, I'm just like aware of stuff like that. But I didn't hear the flame ignite and start burning. It just shut down.
How the hell do you hear that when you're getting ready for work in the morning?
The
His
furnace was
furnace
right in
is
that
from the
mudroom.
70s,
Well, it was-
dude. It's
I think
pretty
it was
loud.
What's
by
that?
it was by your old washer dryer first
Yeah,
floor.
it was in there. Then I waited for a second, and it tried doing it again. And I remember I called you that night, and I told you the symptoms, and you like totally walked me through it. I pulled my meter out and did this and troubleshot this. You're like, well, if it's not this, do this, run that. I hooked my meter up and like, oh, your I think it was a magnesium igniter.
Mm-hmm.
Your igniter's shot. So I checked like resistance or something on that.
Yeah.
and
It
then-
was open.
yeah, it was like a $22 fix or something.
I've had that
Right, I think I
happen
called up a
twice.
supply house and you even ran up
Yeah.
and got it. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
Huh.
but just little stuff like that.
I made show notes. We already covered 2 things. I thought that was short for batteries, but it's bat. I wanted to tell the bat story.
Two
So we
T's or
covered
one.
we covered 3 things already.
Good.
Did you guys
Someone's
see the
organized.
thing on Facebook today, the PETA post?
No.
So they made
No.
I guess you'd call it a filter on Facebook that says shoot selfies, not animals. And then it says, PETA and what's their catchphrase, ethical
I don't
treatment of
know.
animals, something.
Isn't that why Jasper
Well,
put that up?
That's
It's hilarious.
It backfired.
Yeah, I
Because
can only
guess
so
imagine.
many hunters.
All the hunters have all their grip and grins and holding fish.
I
and
hope they were all
turkeys.
pretty respectful pictures, so we looked like not a savage group of people. I mean, we are kind of a savage, but it's not a bad thing.
Most actually, and now I think it goes with a lot of people that are on social media now. People are posting pretty respectful pictures.
I think so.
It's not like
yeah.
heads cut off and blood everywhere. It's
Ever
nothing.
since that whole spear debacle happened a
People
year or two
been-
ago,
yeah.
definitely.
And there's
I
reason
think people are
for
more
it too.
conscious
I
to
try
it
to
now.
clean them
Yeah.
up, like
Yeah.
like
Come on.
like my mom actually shot a deer before we took pictures. I got some snow and cleaned them up, make sure
Was not bloody.
yeah, just kind of make
Kind
Yeah,
of tuck the tongue back into the mouth.
it's
And
probably
back in there.
I
be
think
respectful.
I think if you guys saw the photos, you'd be impressed because, like I said, most of them were pretty nice.
It's very tasteful. Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Good.
Nobody else saw it, huh?
I
No,
don't go on
I'm
there.
not on Facebook.
That's true.
I'm kind of weird.
Guess you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't usually follow PETA.
Yeah.
No,
Well, that's a good point too.
Well,
I don't think I would
follow
either.
PETA either. It was
I
all
know.
the hunters that were posting. At first,
Pitas are
well, I
good
saw
for
it on-
sandwiches sometimes.
Ryan, you
Love
can
Mr.
say, but that
PETA.
shit's got to go.
I do love Mr. PETA, and they're hard
Yeah.
to find now.
They are hard to find.
Yeah,
Is that a Michigan thing? I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're here to talk about deer hunting.
So
Now we're talking
I'm
about
hungry. I'm
fucking
hungry.
sandwich chains.
All right. Feed me.
PETA chains.
Feed me.
You guys have anything you want to talk about?
Just ready to catch some fish here soon.
Going perching again, or
Trying tomorrow, but getting this cooler weather and trying to come up into the shallows out of the big water pretty soon. Be a toss up between duck hunting, deer hunting, and perching.
You've been hitting the perch pretty good this summer.
Yeah, I was on a warpath this year.
Do you have
awesome.
like? I mean, can we do like a little fish dinner to celebrate or something? Maybe.
I like to. I've been stockpiling up.
I was wondering. That's what I was getting at. Can we eat all your perch?
Please.
Maybe in the fall when I start slamming. It's been slim pickings. It's mostly been like.
So you've been eating them as you go.
No, I haven't eaten a single one yet.
Really?
Like, it's been bad. Like, maybe 10 to 15 keepers,
Yeah.
which is about.
Well, you got a couple nice dinners, right?
Oh yeah, about. I don't know, maybe about a half pound of fleas once you clean them all out.
And that is exactly why I have forgotten that perch even exists in Lake St. Clair.
Yeah.
I used to do so good on them, the little buggers.
Well, I just been kind of like just been getting in the swing of things and mostly just dove into it. You know, I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but really summer, it seems like the worst time of the year.
Yeah.
You know, it was just pretty much the spring run and the fall run. So now I'm just waiting for October and they come cruising up into the reed beds.
I've never caught shit for perch except for ice fishing.
Yeah.
And, you know, even that around here's been the rarity when you really get into them.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
We've been getting some good ones. Move. If you're not catching anything within 10 minutes, get out. Don't waste your time there anymore.
Right. Well,
A
it's
lot
the
of
same
moving.
thing with auger and
Yeah.
ice fishing holes. Like, if your arm's not sore by the end of the day ice fishing, you're doing it wrong.
We probably put 20 miles on the boat every Saturday. Just driving all over the flats.
Yeah.
No kidding. That's cool.
Yeah, it's been fun. Just I've been talking about for years diving back into fishing. It's just been fun getting the gear together, learning all the stuff. And
I was telling him my boat went in the water. My boat's been in the water total about 3 hours this summer.
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, that's why
That's crazy.
I
last
know.
weekend
The old Jewel.
Russ and I had big plans to do get our fall food plots in. I had called him, like 8 in the morning. Hey, let's get this set up. He's like, I got a couple things to do. All right. So like 11:30 rolls around. We're supposed to meet out at the farm at 12:30, and it's like 85 out and sunny. I call him. I go, how about we just meet at the boat at 1:30 instead of doing this food plot thing today? And then of course I paid my commuttons because I had to watch it rain, all yesterday. So it would have been a perfect day to get the food plots in, but
Yeah.
it was pretty nice sitting out there floating around in Fisher Bay, just relaxing.
Dude, we got so excited when we saw Russ's green machine at your dock when we pulled up to ours.
Oh, he
Knowing
did
that-
go out with you guys?
Yep, yeah. We talked him in. He came out with the wife and kids and I. So
That's funny.
yeah,
That was probably fun as hell.
it was a good time.
I haven't seen that bugger in a while.
Just ratting it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta. So I think Friday, because Shannon's gone.
Yeah, I can't do Friday.
Well, I'm gonna go out there and do a couple things, and I'm gonna go early Saturday morning.
I can do that.
So, as soon as Gunner gets up Saturday morning, I'm gonna load him up in the truck and go out there. And
Just
I got a couple things to hinge cut, camera cards to switch out, food plots to put in.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know. I have that ground blind out there. I haven't decided if I want to just not even go near it, or if I want to go now one time, because it's gonna have mice in it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go out there and deal with that, so that if I do want to use that come muzzleloader and it's nasty out, it's not.
Horrible.
I don't have company.
But it might be better when it's cold. Go out there and clean it up when it doesn't smell like hot mouse piss. the
yeah, I
whole
was
time.
just trying to do all my infiltration in one day.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna be
Just go
running a
throw-
saw.
like 3 pounds of decon in the thing.
Yeah, thought about that. They'll probably all die right in my chair though.
No, they got to look for water.
That's true.
Yeah.
Draws
get-
them out.
Did you get a bunch of Phragmites grow on your plot on Macomb?
Yeah, there was Phragmites there already. I should have sprayed it ideally,
Yeah.
but because this was the first year that I worked that, and I was just limited on time, I tilled it, I brush hogged it, and I tilled it, and I waited like a week for a lot of it to die off. Then I tilled it again and planted it.
Yeah.
But man, that Phragmite came back.
Dude, I drove down there a couple days ago and I don't know, maybe the end of last week, and Phragmite looks like it's way further back in.
Oh no, that was there. We didn't touch
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, that stuff's just moving all the way through. But
Bad
you know-
stuff.
yeah, but
Phragmites are bad.
right there, the way it all is right now,
It's good cover right
it's
now.
good cover. I'm telling you, they like it. They like it a lot. They don't leave it. They work that edge. I mean, they'll work just outside of
Oh.
it,
all the stuff we planted is actually growing up in the Phragmites too. Obviously, it's not as didn't come through as strong as it should have because the Phragmites is sucking up a lot of the resources. But
yeah.
I mean, the deer have all kinds of browse to eat in there, and they're just completely concealed because that Phragmite is like 6 feet tall now. So,
They're all over that planting.
yeah.
So the marsh is wet this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it choked a lot of frag out, it looked like, right?
It was that wet, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that stuff can only, couple foot of water, if that, right?
About
Right.
3 foot?
it's been about 3-4 foot out in the flats, and then the past 3 years the water
Right.
came up. It's up almost 4 feet within the past 2
it's
years.
crazy
But
how high the water is
That
this year.
grass, though,
It could grow up to 10 feet easily.
I'm saying how deep
deep
in
of
the
water
water
will it
can
actually
it
Oh.
grow?
4 foot, 3 foot?
I feel
Yeah, I
like
would think like
I haven't
4
seen
foot.
it. Yeah, I
You
haven't
guys
seen
are
it any
talking
deeper.
way out of your wheelhouse, I feel.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm just cruising around the flats. That's
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When even when I get on the
Waist
the sides and stuff, it can't be any
waist
really-
high. Because
Yeah.
you get up walking up in the back of fisher there.
Yeah. Never
I'm no
really paid
Phragmite
attention.
expert, but
For anybody
that's all I
listening
noticed.
that doesn't live in Michigan, I don't know where. I know if you live in Wisconsin, you don't have Phragmite because I was there this weekend and it sure was nice.
I think it's pretty localized to like Lake St. Clair area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Phragmite is a invasive species. It's a grass.
vegetation,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, and it choked out all the cattails, and it's a major problem.
choking out
Stuff
woods
just
and stuff
grows
like that too in marsh areas.
Yeah, it's terrible. It sucks. I realized that when I was in Wisconsin this weekend. Beautiful cattail marshes for,
Yeah.
all over the
You
place.
see that in the UP all over. You won't see it up there.
Right. I mean, you see it too. How they do all those big controlled burns down there in the flats. They're trying to fight it. It's just the stuff is crazy.
Right.
It grows like crazy.
I've read something that was introduced in some areas to prevent soil erosion, and it horrifically backfired.
Weird.
Want to hear about Wisconsin a little bit?
I've
Yeah.
been dying to hear about
Where's
Wisconsin.
the cheese? I want some cheese curds now.
I think Wisconsin people get offended if you bring that up.
I'm sure they
What?
do.
It's
What
kinda
about their
corny.
crappy football team?
Wisconsin's our number 2. Wisconsin is behind Michigan in downloads, so
Yeah.
don't.
Well, the Packers suck. I'm sorry, but I can't resist it.
I'm a fan of the Dells, and it's beautiful area.
We can just call it what it is. Dislike the Packers because, well, you can understand why.
Right, yeah. I have to work with a couple Upers, so I have to sit through that every football season. And, you guys win all the games, so just let me trash talk and leave me alone, all right?
Yeah, well, and we're not even in football season yet, and I'm already foreshadowing seeing some problems with listenerships.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing I can see through where people download the show, and it's pretty much Midwest. It's
Right.
Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin are I think the top 5. So
Whenever I tried researching like traditional or historical photos of deer camps or traditional deer camps, Michigan or Wisconsin always seems to trump Michigan with
Mhm.
being like just as deep
Dude.
roots in our deer camps.
that state's awesome.
Yeah, I
That
like it
state's
there.
awesome. I'm going there next October to hunt.
Most of it looks like
Nice.
the UP.
Very nice.
So, yeah. Well, I won't bring that up yet. I'll get to that point.
Have you looked into cost for Wisconsin?
Yeah, I'm not ready to share that information because I don't know it 100% correctly,
Okay.
but it might be kind of exciting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They just freak me out because they have so much
I may have found
chronic
something out
wasting.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's a big problem there.
What's that?
Why does it freak you out though?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends how much the
You're just
tag
going there
is.
to hunt and leaving.
Yeah, but if I can't take my deer meat back with me, you're not supposed to eat that stuff.
What, the Wisconsin deer?
That'd be
Anything with chronic wasting disease.
Oh, right.
It's
yeah, yeah.
actually permitted to where you can dispose of the meat. If you get it tested and it has chronic wasting, they don't want you to eat it.
yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't blame you.
But I think it's localized in some places. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is a thing. But I'll say this. There's deer everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's big deer.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's different than here.
Huh.
For sure. There's
I've
a
seen
reason.
out of state.
There's a reason why.
Michigan is a tough state to hunt, man. I mean, the deer you've been down. Well, you haven't really even
You're
Been
fine.
down there hunting. You've probably seen quite a bit down there though through work.
Oh, in Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went down there and scouted that one,
Yeah.
the northern part there.
Definitely more plentiful.
Yeah, it was hard not to find deer sign.
I'd like to make it to Wisconsin. I looked at some topos of Wisconsin, different areas of it, and it looks like it got some pretty cool terrain.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to like even.
And I will disclose that my hatred for the Packers is out of pure jealousy, just so the Wisconsin people aren't all up in the
That's
arms.
fine. They'll give it back.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll keep it fair. You guys can take your shots. We'll take our shots.
yeah,
It's not a safe. What do they call it? This is
safe space.
Not a safe space here.
No.
So we worked a pretty long day on Friday, and then my buddy Alex Slosser, that went with me. You guys were all busy. Nobody else could go. I'd been planning on going for months to Sam Ubel's house Saturday night to do a podcast, and so earlier in the week, I was just thinking, I knew Dan Infault lived pretty close to Sam, and I thought, boy, what would be the chances, you know? So I just text Kevin, and I said, hey, do you think Dan would mind if I, texted him or called him and talked to him about potentially setting up a podcast? And I called him, and I said, hey, I know it's last minute, but is there any chance on Saturday I'm going to be in Wisconsin that you'd be able to do a podcast? And he's like, yeah, I could do that. And he's like, oh, wait, I got plans. He's like, what about Sunday morning? I said, yeah, I could probably do that. I didn't really want to. I wanted to get up super early Sunday morning and come home. But Dan called me back, and he said, hey, I'm going Saturday to northern Wisconsin to bait bear. Would you like to come with me? I thought, yeah, sure. So, but I said, what time do you need me there in the morning? He said, well, I like to leave the house around 3 a.m. I'm thinking, well, I probably can't be there at 3 a.m., but I could leave after work, and I could probably be over there maybe by, 6. And so Alex got off work at 2:30, drove from the Thumb to Fairview to bait for bear.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Drove back home to his house in the Thumb, drove here, got in my truck. We left here at 11 o'clock, and we drove to southeast Wisconsin. I drove all through the night.
Oh, my gosh.
I felt great. didn't get tired until the last 30 minutes, and then I was in a video game. I was struggling.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've had those drives home from work. After you work like all night, and you're driving home at like 7 in the morning.
Slap
you just
yourself in the face.
Like time travel. It's
Yeah.
like you
It
just
was
wake up, you're
miserable.
like, how did I get here? How am I at this point?
I was
on
watching the GPS and watching the clock, and I'm like, how did that minute take so long? Go faster, must go faster. And then pure fog. Like we're out in the middle of ag. I mean, corn and beans everywhere, and just pure fog. So we can only go like 15 miles an hour. But luckily at that time, Alex had woke up. He was just getting up, and so we were talking a little bit. And the plan was when we got to Dan's that Alex would drive. Dan's truck was broke down. So he said, before I talked to him on Friday, he said, hey, you happen to have a pickup truck? I sure do. Just got a new one. And he said, do you mind putting some bear bait in it? I said, no, not at all. So when we got to Dan's house, Alex was going to drive, and Alex is like, hey, probably just let Dan drive because I don't have any clue where I'm going. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I climbed in the back. I went to sleep, and it was just breaking day, 5 a.m. when we got there. And we pulled out of Dan's house and headed 3 hours north to a big chunk of public land. I woke up with about an hour left to go, and Dan's just cracking jokes, man. Funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you thought that we'd known him and hunted with him our whole lives, you know?
That's cool.
It was super comfortable.
That's awesome.
It was, man. It was really unique. And we were just all, we got stopped and got some coffee, and we were just bullshitting about deer hunting for about an hour. And then we got to the first bait spot, and we did 3 bait spots. not waist deep, but thigh deep, trudging through water and some swampy shit and stuff, going out to some spots. But it was beautiful scenery, you know, the lakes and little rivers and things out in the state land, just going through them. It was awesome.
Does he get out? Does he bear hunt a whole lot?
Loves to bear hunt. He's a bear hunting nutcase.
Really? I didn't know that
man.
about Dan.
We talk about it on the podcast at the beginning because I brought
When's
that
that
up.
season compared to?
It's coming
deer
up
season?
pretty quick. I think it's the middle or the first week in September, middle of September, I think.
And when's it run to?
Couldn't tell you.
No.
Couldn't tell you. But we did 3 spots, and then we went to the spot just out 2-track, I don't know, mile out off of any road or whatever, and set up the podcast. And we had lawn chairs that we were sitting in. We had 5-gallon buckets. We had the computer and all the electronics all set up on the buckets because it was sandy and it rained that night, so it was wet, so I couldn't put anything on the ground. Had that all set up, and then I had a power inverter connected to a battery, car battery, powering the whole thing up. Well, we get about 15 minutes in, and the car must have had a bad cell because it showed that it had a full charge when I left here. About 15 minutes in, the alarm starts going off on the inverter that the battery's dying. And I'm like, oh my God. But because I just bought that new pickup, I bought a brand new pair of jumper cables to throw under the back seat. So I grabbed the jumper cables and jumpered the truck battery to the car battery, and the podcast was saved and up and running.
Nice.
And so we got about an hour and 45 minutes in.
Nice.
With me and Alex and Dan. And
That's
you can hear
awesome.
blue jays chirping. I mean, we're out in the middle of the woods.
That's
That could be
great.
Cool.
Dude, it was beautiful. It was so nice. And I've listened to Dan on a lot of podcasts, and it could potentially just be being biased, but actually sitting there with him and doing it, it was by far my favorite one I've done so far.
That's cool.
Wow.
We got good stuff, and Dan's
Great dude.
yeah, my opinion about him, I mean, I always liked the guy, but now I have a lot of respect for him. A lot of respect for him. He is a genuine good dude. We talked a lot about about this whole thing about kind of getting into the hunting industry and doing stuff and this and that. And what a selfless guy. He's just never chased after this or that, and he says no a lot. And it's all because he wants to, I don't know, wants to put the best information out there that he can and do it his way. And he's a complete wacko.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His YouTube videos are great though. He cracks me up,
they're
man.
amazing.
His shirts, his outfits alone are worth watching.
His so he's a diehard outdoorsman predator, and his wife is an animal rehabilitator. So they have he's always kind of referencing talking about raccoons because they have pens of raccoons at the house. And so he was talking to Alex when I'm waking up in the back seat. They're talking about rehabilitating raccoons, and Dan's talking about, well, sometimes they're just mean, and there's just not much you can do. Sometimes they're real friendly. He's like, raccoons. He calls them raccoons. Raccoons really have a personality. And Alex looks at him and he says, so do you ever get bit? And Dan, just the most nonchalant comment ever, he's like, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Alex is like, man, I wouldn't think getting bit by a raccoon would be very nice at all, but Dan seemed like he didn't really mind.
You don't get the hydrophobia?
So, yeah, it was awesome. We did the podcast, and then we baited up 3 more spots as we worked south. And
So what were you using for bait? Usually bear bait's pretty.
You can't use
Gross
sweet
Like
stuff.
stuff.
expired
no,
Twinkies and
not
stuff.
at all, man. It was friggin' truck smelled like heaven.
Really?
Yeah, it was like
Old pastry.
cereal and pastries and bread and syrup and oh my God.
How sticky's the back of your truck now?
No, it was all in 5. It was all, Dan had it all in 5-gallon buckets with lids.
Oh, all right.
And each place we went to, we took 2 5-gallon buckets, and then he had they have a log that's hollowed out, and you put the bait in the log, and then you put a topper on top of there. And so it takes a bear to come and pull the thing off and to actually get into it.
All right.
And then he's got some different, I don't want to give all his tips and tricks away, but he's got some special spray that he kind of sprays around to get a bunch of scent. I mean, it smells amazing. Like, yeah. It smells like
Cheesecake Factory blew up?
Yeah, like a Bath and Body Works met a bakery, you know.
Oh, man.
So we did 3 more of those. We blasted back south. We said goodbye to Dan, and we drove over to Sam Ubel's house, who lives like 30 minutes from Dan, right on a lake. Sweet patio overlooking this lake, and his buddy James was there, and they had a bunch of venison ready to go, tenderloins, potatoes, corn on the cob. We've been living off gas station food for like a day and a half, you know.
Yeah. Tears your gut up.
I brought elk. I brought
nice.
some elk with me that I cut up earlier in the week and had marinated in some teriyaki. And Sam has one of those new Yoder smokers, but it's the one that you put charcoal in.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that thing just ripping, and they were just had these tenderloins with like salt and pepper, and they were soaked in like olive oil and orange.
Ooh.
And then hit with salt and pepper. And he was just throwing them on this grill, and they were just exploding in flames, you know. And it was one of the best tenderloins I ever had in my life.
Nice.
No steakhouse stood a chance of replicating it with beef. No way, no how.
I have one little pack of chop left in my freezer.
Oh.
That's all that's left, and I always save it for like that first, just so I have something to throw on the grill like right before deer season, you know. It's like just like slap hands when they go in my freezer to grab that little pack of chop out of there. It's like, no, you don't touch that. That's mine. Save it.
Sam's house, just loaded with big deer, and his buddy James is just a legit aficionado of like understanding some in-depth whitetail behavior. And so we're just standing at the grill eating tenderloin, talking about deer. Cold beers just keep coming. And then Sam and his friend James and me and Alex sat down, did another hour and a half podcast, and we wrapped that up at about 10:30. Shot some bows. Sam just got a longbow. I had brought my longbow with me, so we were shooting longbows, eating venison, barbecuing, drinking beers. Man, it was like pure heaven. And then we left there at about 10:30 and drove 30 minutes south, got a hotel room, crashed hard.
Jeez.
Crashed real hard. Yeah, and then we got up early Sunday morning. Well, not that early, 7 o'clock. Had coffee and breakfast, kind of sat around a little bit and got on the road and came home. It was awesome.
It was a long couple days.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. And so, sitting in the truck talking with Dan for, 5-6 hours plus during the day.
Cool. I mean, that's
12 hours talking to that guy. I can't wait till you guys get to listen. I can't wait to listen to the podcast. I was doing some editing on it last night, checking all the audio and stuff. All the audio's perfect. I had all the settings set perfect. I got real good audio.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you can hear the occasional blue jay in the background and stuff. Besides the audible alarm going off at about 15 minutes, 15 minutes in.
just to get to hang out with a guy like that. I mean, he's like I don't even know who to compare him to as far as like in the deer hunting world. He's one of the upper echelon guys.
He's the guy.
Right. As far as like public land goes, you got him and Eberhardt really
Yeah. I would agree with that.
They're totally opposite personalities from what I can tell. I got to talk to Eberhardt. I haven't ever met
There's tension.
Info. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was...
They are both, no doubt, just whitetail scientists. I don't know. They understand the woods and the deer
it's like
so
hearing
good.
like people argue like creation and evolution.
yeah.
It's like the complete polar opposite, and there's just no meeting in the middle.
Or
with
Packers,
those two.
Lions.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, their methods are very different. They're both
Fixed.
extremely successful.
Yeah.
Right.
Fixed blades versus mechanical guys.
But Yeah, picked up just a ton of stuff, and just a super nice guy, and I'm hoping I'm going to go over there next year and do some hunting.
No, you could tell that he would be a fun guy to hang out with for a day. I
He
do
is.
not doubt that the laughs would just be coming the whole time you're over
He
there.
reminds me of one of my uncles or something. One of my goofy uncles. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just hardcore into deer hunting and whatever, and just some of the most down to earth, funny. Just I don't know.
It's
the old school guys.
I'm fortunate to have all you guys as friends and have a close group of friends that I find to be very funny and always got me laughing. But outside of that, it's not all the time that, I come across that. But I laughed hard a couple times on Saturday because he's just his, it's like he could almost be a stand-up comedian, just the way he inflects on things and the way he says things and stuff. So he kept saying raccoons throughout the day, and Alex looks at him and goes, Dan, I gotta ask you, I always said raccoons and you say raccoons, am I wrong? And Dan just goes and Alex said, hey, did you notice that Dan all day didn't eat anything, drink any water? He had 2 Red Bulls and a coffee.
I saw the Red Bulls on your center console in that video clip.
Man,
So-
that guy is Red Bull crazy.
That right there is Dan Infalt's coffee cup. He left it in the truck.
You didn't get it? Oh no.
It's okay. So, Alex and I joked that if we kept the cup, if science ever needed to replicate Dan Infalt
In the future.
You got
right.
like the woolly mammoth there.
Yeah,
They can
we got
clone him.
Dan Infalt's DNA sitting here on the podcast studio bar.
Slightly creepy, but
Sorry, Dan.
Dan, if you're listening, you understand.
It's like Jurassic Park, deer hunt version.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but whatever. Who kicked our feedback monitor on? Somebody's got a loud laugh, huh?
I think it's this bearded menace
no
over
way.
here.
It might have been.
Dude, we all got beards, so I don't know which one it is.
But yeah, man, it was exciting as hell. It was fun. After people listen to this, the Infalt podcast will be the next one.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm just, I don't know, climbing out of my skin, man. I'm so excited to hear what he's got to say.
You
Go
are
nuts.
like the Dan Infalt guy. You just worship the ground he walks on.
I think the guy's a rad dude, and I've watched a lot of his videos and read a lot of stuff, and I registered on the Hunting Beast forum deal, and
I just did that yesterday. I'd never been on
It's-
the Hunting Beast.
No, I never have
Silly
either.
of me.
just I don't know. I've learned a lot.
Yeah,
I
I'm
used a lot of
excited
my
to be on
scouting for Ohio based on what he told me. And I'm learning a lot. I actually just got a John Eberhardt book as well from a coworker who met him up at Voight's.
Oh,
when he
yeah.
comes up there for
Oh,
they
yeah.
have like every fall, September, something like that, or maybe it's summer. He comes up there, or they have a big deal, and he had a book signed by him. So I'm starting to read that, hunting pressured whitetail, and information again there is some little bit of conflicting information. I don't want to say conflicting, but just different kind of points.
It's completely conflicting.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe it's
too.
but they both have great points, and I'm picking up little pieces of information or big pieces of information from both of them and sorting it out. I'm going to find out what works for me this season
Well,
on it.
if you pull the little tidbits out of each school, each camp there, then you're just going to be that much better off,
That's the way
Right.
to do it. Take bits and pieces from everybody's system and build your own.
They've
Right?
all got proof that their methods and
Yeah,
methodologies,
obviously
whatever,
they both
everything's
kill
working.
monster deer on
Yeah.
a regular basis. So
Make a hybrid.
Right. I'll make a
That's exactly what we're talking about.
bearded version hybrid.
become the labradoodle of bow hunting.
I mean,
Or
if you
Puggle.
could morph
God.
both of them, John and and Dan,
It's just
one of those weird looking faces when they do like to make it what your kids are gonna look like,
yeah.
like the old Dan with the long hair.
They just start sewing scentlock and world's best farter T-shirts and cat pants.
Trophy husband. I like
So,
the recent one.
Dan,
World's best farter.
we talked about scent lock, and Dan says that shit doesn't work. And I said, well, I don't know. Why do you say that? I said, I think it does. He says, I scientifically tested it. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
oh, I am interested. He goes, yeah, I put the pants on, I farted, and I smelled it.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's exactly what his comment was. He says, Sunlock doesn't work. You can smell your farts.
So where about chamber of farts?
That was his
That is hilarious.
That was his scientific testing.
I think that's about the extent I'd bring my testing to.
It's hard to argue with. I mean, the logic's sound.
Just smoke the carbon first
Yeah,
trial.
maybe you can get a muffler though, just to quiet it down a little bit.
Did you ever see that muffler thing? Like if you got a cough when you're in your stand, you can cough into that in a
Oh,
silence.
yeah. They didn't last very long. What was
It's
that?
called your arm or your sleeve or choke it up.
Just
Yeah.
pipe that into your pants.
You ever try to fight that cough or like an?
Oh, God.
It's the worst.
horrible.
Oh my gosh! I didn't want that. I don't. That's one of my least favorite parts of being in tree stand is when I get a cough and I just
Oh,
trying to
that's the
fight
worst.
it. Oh my god!
Especially if you hear that thing over your shoulder, you can hear something walking around and you haven't been able to eyeball to see what it is yet, and then you feel that tickle in
and
your
then trying to
throat.
clear it
Yeah.
quietly, but it's doing nothing. You're like, I got a cough. I got to do it.
It's a
Oh, I can't
terrible
wait for
feeling.
deer season to be here.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We're only an hour in. Want to talk about hunting?
I was looking there a couple minutes. I'm
You
like,
guys
man,
hunt?
I don't even know if they know we're hunters anymore. Like, do they
God.
totally change the podcast?
Hey, I'll have
Um,
to put a BS disclaimer on this one for sure.
Right.
Cool, it's a good warm up.
So today is what, August 23rd?
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be a
Close.
little bit later when people are listening to this. There's a lot. I got a lot of stuff to do.
I mean,
Oh, I
is
can't
anybody
even
getting out
think
for
about
early
it.
doe season?
When is it?
I don't know. I work
It's like,
24/7. I
wanna
have
Google
no
that?
idea. I forgot to even buy my to do the application period. So
You
I'll
didn't
have
put an app in for a doe
to
tag?
Dude,
No,
I'm working
I
12
forgot.
hours a day,
I know.
7 days a
but
week. I have no
some
idea.
things are unexcusable, though.
Well,
Yeah.
No, it's 22
Sound-
days till small game. The
Sound
bushy
like
tails.
a quitter to me.
I tell you the truth,
I've
I'm
been
really
known-
trying to save my time with mom, with my wife.
Right.
Uh,
That's a tough
for
balancing
later
game,
in the
man.
season.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just trying to practice and put away my time,
Yeah.
because she'll be sick of it by the time the season's over, even if I start late.
I've never
Yeah.
done the early doe.
I've sat out there just as
It's not my.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
a
not-
nice time of year to really
Yeah,
be
it's
out
really
there.
not. But, I mean, it's a nice time of the year to get a deer.
10 times over 10, I would take late season muzzleloader over early doe.
Right.
That'd be a good way to get
Well, they
some nice
say
doe meat.
It's nice to take a big doe off your property early in the season to take a lot of pressure off food sources.
Well, and I guess you're increasing your buck to doe ratio right there too.
You are.
Ready?
Yep.
Michigan early antlerless firearm, September 16th through 17th of 2017.
Less than a month.
So is it probably Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
I would think so.
Last time was on
Isn't
your
it
wedding.
the same as the youth hunt?
I would
I
think,
think it-
so. Liberty Hunt, which I'm not sure what it is also that.
Disabled
date.
veterans.
Oh, Liberty Hunt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Youth,
a cool deal.
youth
That is
and Hunters
cool.
with
I like the way
Disabilities Hunt.
I like the sound of that.
Right.
Liberty Hunt.
Independence Hunt, October 19th through the 22nd. Hunters with Disabilities Hunt.
On that note, my uncle down in Tennessee, he's got a good chunk of hunt property, diehard deer hunter as well, and he eventually got into this huge ranch down there, and they do tons of wounded warrior and handicap people with disabilities, get them out in the woods, turkey hunting, deer hunting, and all that. Pretty awesome stories and a lot of sweet success. Like this ranch they hunt on, I don't think it's a high fence, but there's a lot of big bucks out there, and I think they have to take 1 or 2 doe, or if they shoot a buck and no does, it's like a couple grand. So like if you work on the ranch, you volunteer your time and do the wounded warrior and all those other special hunts that you can hunt the property. If you're a good guy and the guy only invites people like he'd meet like, oh, you seem like a nice guy, I want to help out, and then you get to know you, and then you just kind of get wrapped up, and it'd be cool.
It's
Where'd you hear
awesome to
from?
do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
I like that.
Uncle Stu.
You want to talk about gear a little bit? Because I heard something interesting yesterday. Have you guys heard of the crossbow called the Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
where
fast.
$2,000.
The limbs are
I think what,
180
10 inches?
degrees.
6 inches
Okay.
apart.
6 inches?
Yep.
When
What?
it's
When it's
pulled-
cocked.
Wow, that's insane.
I
Yeah.
saw one. I didn't shoot it, but
What
looked
did they expand
ridiculous.
to?
I don't know. But Kevin Hedeman's dad bought one. And Kevin was shooting it yesterday, and he said that he feels more confident with it than a rifle. It should not be legal during bow season.
That's kind of where I stand out.
He said
I'm
he
one of
was
them guys snobs. I do not
He
like
said he was-
crossbows.
he said he
I
was-
do not like them.
Yeah.
Nothing you could tell. I mean, there's if you can't pull back a regular bow, you can have a doctor's note back
Right.
the way it used to be. I thought was cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm all an advocate of getting people out in the woods that may not have gone there before. It's great. You know, that I'm not trying to say people stay out of the woods, you know, because I'm having my bow season. It's just, I don't know.
Here's
It's
the
just-
deal, though. Guys like friends that we have that have shot a bow for 10 years and suck with it and wound deer
I see
are
that.
still going to go out, and I'd rather they go out with a crossbow. Thinking about the game, like,
There's arguments for
Yeah.
sure.
There
I
is.
just,
I brought it up before. I thought it would have been sweet if Michigan had capitalized on having a crossbow stamp. Just a couple bucks that
Oh,
you
yeah.
pay to have and to be able to use. Because it is. It's easier. You got a scope, a trigger. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But we're not. I didn't bring up that whole thing to get into that whole
I could talk
debate.
about that.
But
for
he
a
was
while.
telling me that you can consistently shoot a dime at 80 yards.
Really?
He says it's ridiculous. He said the optics are ridiculous. It shoots super smooth, and he said it's just you can shoot 100 yards.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I've seen them, but I've never shot one.
What do you
Yeah.
got to do? Use the John?
Like, I don't know. Obviously, when compounds came onto the scene, people weren't very happy about that either.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Big
But-
stink.
Well, my thing is that the thing costs $2,000. You're not gonna see a whole lot of them in the woods.
No.
Yeah. So
I wish they were all a little more expensive. Now that those barnets and stuff are
yeah, right.
$200, you get a lot of
Right.
people-
Weekend.
buying them and not really putting any time into them because it's a limited investment. You know, if you put buy $1,000 bow, you're using that thing a
It's
lot.
crazy because there's like such a different side of the spectrum. There's some diehard whitetail hunters that'll use those in circumstances where they can't get up in a tree and they're
Right.
hunting from a ground blind and they're just laying in the brush with a crossbow.
Oh,
That
yeah.
guy I got, but the guy that's super lazy and he goes to the store a day before season and buys a crossbow and doesn't know anything about it, screws whatever broadheads on there. You know the guy.
Yeah.
We all know him.
Yeah.
We all know a couple of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, I get the not owning the nicest gear thing. I have a shotgun that I've literally used as a punt pole before when duck hunting. So
I get that too. I'm just saying sometimes it's done because it's just easier. And
right.
yeah, I mean, that was a cool thing. That's the fun thing about archery is that's the pride in it.
Right.
Is the work. It takes all the work to learn to shoot the damn bow and to shoot it consistently. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's what archery is all
It's
about.
science.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it distinguishes between people that are really actually archers and people who just want to go
Marksmen.
hunt. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, I get that.
a lot of I mean, if you told me I had to put my bow away and never shoot it again, or I had to choose between like shooting a deer with a rifle, I could only rifle hunt, or I'd have to put my bow away forever, never be able to touch it again. I'd probably pick to be able to shoot my bow all the time because I literally get a year of joy out of doing that, you know.
Right, I get that. Yeah, if it was the zombie apocalypse, I'd want to have a gun, but for deer hunting, yeah, I could see wanting to have the bow.
Yeah.
Well, they had. It's been a while, but there was controversy about that ultimate muzzleloader. And then the muzzleloader,
With the electronic ignition.
electronic ignition, the ones that shot smokeless powder.
Yeah.
Electronic ignition?
Yeah,
it
like
had
your
battery in it.
What?
Yeah,
I never heard of such a thing.
I think
was like-
CVA.
Yeah, it was like
Had
8
that?
or 9 years ago. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what, just spark to ignite the powder?
Yeah,
That's gay.
9-volt battery, right?
yeah. I think they had some kind of battery in there.
Optima
I think it was a CVA that had that.
It was a CVA.
But I got that
That's pretty sweet.
that Thompson Center Pro Hunter, 209. And right after I got that, then they totally changed the whole breech system and all that. It's just constantly changing.
I hope nobody's offended that I called it gay.
What?
Happy.
The happy method?
Yeah.
Fix it in post.
Come on, we can't be worried about being that PC. Do you know what?
So how do you like
Kevin
those?
just sitting there staring at me, just like, oh, it kind of seemed like he regretted what he said or something.
Oh my God. what
No,
did
I was just
say?
thinking about it.
How you like those new arrows?
I can't wait to
You
sight
can't
my
take your
bow into
hands
them.
off when we're
No.
doing a podcast. You're standing on the other side of the damn room
Playing
playing with
with
arrows.
my shaft, yeah. that they're nice. I can't wait to get some fletchings on them.
Yeah.
Bring your shafts over here. Let me see them. Grab them. Let me see that.
300 spine. I'm going 300 spine, tuning my bow up another 5 pounds to 70.
See, this is what I was
11
getting at.
grains per inch.
I wanted
Super
to talk
excited.
about gear. Now we
Okay,
did it.
I'm
We're doing it. No, go.
Well,
It took
yeah,
us.
I'm changing my arrows big time. I actually made notes in my phone so I don't mess them up.
These are amazing.
I don't think that I didn't go over what I got. I said my bow right now is set at 65, and I wanted to go with a heavier arrow. I was more of at a midweight before. Actually, my old one was considered a heavyweight because I think it was 8.5 grains. It's a gold tip, and I went.
You need a special quiver for these.
I don't know. Hopefully
Your
not.
quiver's not going to hold these. No way, man. These things are tiny.
We'll see.
So I'm holding a Black Eagle
Deep impact.
Deep Impact.
Yeah, they're like
What is
0.85
it?
inches.
Is it a 300 spine?
Yes, it said Black Eagle recommended from 60 to 65, 350. From 65 to 70, 300. I'm going to tune it up to 70, and I'm going back to fixed blade broadheads. I tried out mechanicals.
How much were
A little
these? This is so you bought a dozen of shafts,
Doesn't
right?
actually had Drew do it because he's my
Are
bow
these full
technician.
length? A dozen full length
Yeah,
shafts.
yeah, they got to be cut and everything.
Where'd they come from?
I found a guy on Archery Talk that hooked me up 130. It was $133 for a dozen shafts.
They're sweet.
It's a nice. I've
So-
looked around a lot.
I'm assuming it's a special insert.
It's an outsert.
Yeah.
It actually
Outside.
glues onto the outside of the arrow.
40
and
grain
next
Does it
outsert.
up-
have something that?
It brings it up to the same diameter as Broadhead.
So you can use
I
your
understand
field tips
that,
and-
but does it have something that goes in the center as well?
No.
It only fits over.
Yep.
Really?
It's a collar that fits
I haven't
over.
seen it. But what I was figuring out, it was 300 spine.
I
I'm
thought
gonna
it
fletch
might-
it with. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
You go.
All right. I thought it might have a center pin that dropped in and then have the out.
I mean, I just got them and I haven't really analyzed it at all.
Are they in
but,
the box, the outserts?
Yeah, they're right in there if you want to grab
Should
one.
pull
I
one
don't
out.
know why it would matter, but
I don't think they do. I think it just
Slide
glues
over.
right on. Yeah.
can't stop touching it.
Well, it's so I went with 300 spine. They're going to get fletched with. Originally, I was planning Blazer, and we were looking at a different one. What'd you have on your arrows, Drew?
The AAE Max Stealths.
Yeah, you recommended those. They're supposed to be a little quieter. They're a little longer than the Blazers.
I heard they're louder.
They're supposed to be quieter. That's
That's
what they're claiming.
Their whole marketing behind them is that they are quieter.
Oh.
And I've heard that they are quieter from a couple different people, but obviously I've never pulled out a decibel
be-
meter. And
Yeah, right. It's probably gonna be impossible to tell anyway.
Right.
I mean, you could do it, but there's no way we
Doesn't
could afford
matter.
to do it.
Shooting that bow with those arrows, it's
At 70 pounds. Drew did the research because we were kind of concerned about the diameter of the arrow, and possibly I wanted to go 4 fletching, and if it would even fit. He talked to the guy on Archery Talk, and the guy recommended going with the Blazers, going 3 and helical. So that's what we're going to end up doing,
Yep.
or he's going to end up putting them on for me.
And when you go with these micro diameter arrow shafts, the easiest way that people have been able to fletch them with a really good helical on them is using easy. God, I can't think of who makes it. think it's Arizona Archery makes it. It's a EZ Fletcher. It's their mini edition. It's a little blue thing, and you put the arrow in vertical, and then you set your 3 fletchings
So
in
it's
there.
like a little stand.
Yeah, you run your glue on your fletchings, you
I've
set them
seen
in there, and then there's a spring on the bottom that you turn this collar, and it comes up, and then there's a little cap you slide down the arrow, and it glues all 3 fletchings on at one time.
God, that's beautiful.
Oh man, that I used it on the 6 arrows I did for you last night, and it took me half hour to do that whole batch of arrows.
That's awesome.
No, it seems slick. So I mean, those blazers, it was 18. What is it? Blazers at 18 grains. I figured for 3. The knock at 8 grains. The straightness is .001, and the grain tolerance is 1 or minus 1 or plus 1. 11 grains per inch, 40 grain outsert, 100 grain tips is what I was planning on doing. I figured with some of the math calculator I use at 29 3/4 arrow, which it'll probably be quite a bit shorter. It says is at 327.25 plus vein. That's the grains. It'll be at plus the veins at 18 outserts. I think I came up to like 493 1/4 grains total.
And that's
So pushing 500.
They say 450 will kill any North
Big game.
American big game. That's
Add on.
including like moose and
Right.
doll sheep and everything.
That's kind of, I wanted to get used to shooting a heavier arrow for that reason, because I do plan on doing some of them hunts here in the future, hopefully not too distant. And I
What's the downfall of it?
just a log. I
Slower.
read a couple articles.
Yeah, but for whitetail hunting,
The
I'm saying,
articles
what's
is
the
the kinetic
downfall for
energy
it?
is the momentum is a huge deal, and people just emphasize speed so much, but the momentum is
Knockdown power.
and just pass through power. Just having that momentum, and it's harder to stop that weight, so it's gonna travel more through
Right.
soft tissue, but better.
Well,
you
the
know?
thing is, though, in 10 years, once the market's saturated with these heavier arrows, a bunch of stuff's going to come out saying faster is better again.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Good placement
it all
kills.
is...
Good
yeah,
shot placement kills.
Right.
And that's pretty much end of the.
But I'm saying, what's the downfall for whitetail hunting? Because if you're shooting 20 yards,
I want to be good out 20, 40, maybe 50 yards for whitetail for what I'm doing right now. But I'm excited about trying them. I've been trying to try some new things this year. Keep my mind open to learning new things and trying new things.
Yeah.
I've got I think 10.3% FOC for the rating on it.
It's got to be higher than that.
That's a heavy
all it
arrow,
gave
man.
me.
Yeah.
But
Probably
that
doesn't.
was actually right in the
Is
sweet
that with
spot.
100 grain
It's
tips?
set
Or
between 7 and 15, so I'm right in the middle.
was that with 100 grain or
100 grain.
125?
100 grain. I think I did do the math with 125. I'm
I
not
think
sure
you
it
should
was.
man up and do 125.
I think you should too. Go a little heavier.
I'm actually going to order.
no,
I'm
you'd
gonna
be
order
well,
a dozen 125
You'd be f-
grain field points, and I'll shoot it in, sight it in, see how it goes.
Yeah, you'd be fine either way. That's
I
a
think
heavy
so.
arrow.
It is a heavy.
For me
arrow.
personally, I'd rather have a light arrow with a real heavy FOC, but you're
I
kind
think
of splitting hairs. I mean,
I think it's going to be great.
I think so too. I like the micro diameter, but you're gonna need a new quiver.
We'll see.
I think so.
I'm hoping not.
I don't see how you get away with that quickie quiver.
I like it.
Just
Do you
put
have
some
a
tape
quickie
wraps.
quiver?
Yeah, I've got an
there's no way
octane
it's
that I'm
holding on
not
to
super
those.
crazy about, but it might work.
Is Octane even in business anymore?
Yeah,
Dude,
don't
I
know.
love the octane quiver that I have on my bow.
I'm not crazy about the one I have.
Yeah, you're probably not like mine.
Probably not. I just never. It was an expensive quiver, and I wanted it for a long time, and I got it, and I was kind of, I don't know, just didn't like it.
Yeah,
Dumb.
mine came on my bow. I didn't pay anything for it, so I like it a lot.
So I'm excited about that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
arrows. You
Got-
ordered broadheads, right?
Yeah, I ordered.
What are you shooting for arrows? So that's your arrow setup. And what's
Yeah.
your bow? It's a
Matthews Adrenaline.
how old?
2008-ish.
Yeah. That's
8 or
7
9.
years old or something like that.
It's a nice
8
bow.
years old. I've loved it. It's smooth shooting. I mean, there's other bows that I'd like to try, but I've been working on the
No.
rest of my hunting.
I think you get a
So-
good bow, man. It's,
Stick with it.
bow is turned into this thing where, like, yeah, get a new bow, but bows last a long time. You get a good one that you shoot good.
Yeah, but Nick really needs to get a new bow.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, he's the one person.
I'm not talking to him.
No, it's cool.
We'll move on to him.
I have a Ben Pearson.
Yeah.
So what's your arrow setup? And your bow's a what?
I've got a G5 Prime Shift. It was the first year that Prime came out, and it's they're shorter axle to axle. I don't even think they make one even close to that short of an axle to axle anymore. And I'm shooting the Black Eagle Carnivores, and they are. I did a 4 Fletch with the AAE stealths on them, and I'm put brass inserts at. The inserts were 30 grains, and then I'm shooting 125 grain tooth of the arrow broadheads on them. So I forget what the exact. I think my arrows are like 440 grains total.
That's pretty heavy.
28 inch. I'm a 28.5 inch draw length, so my arrows are cut at about 28 inches, and those are like just under 9 grains per inch for the arrow. And then you throw my FOC's sitting at about like 12% right now. So I'm happy with the way I've been shooting them. They fly great. Haven't really noticed too much drop off in my distance, going up. I basically added 50 grains to the front of my arrow from anything I've ever shot before. So
right.
And I got a hell of a deal on those broadheads too. Right now, Tooth of the Arrow has free shipping, and then your discount code.
Deer Hunter 17.
Yeah, I was able to pick up.
It's 10%, right?
10 or 15, I don't remember. I know I got 2 sets of the 125 grain, so 6 broadheads for $67 delivered to my house.
That's great. Broadhead's that you'll be using for a long time.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, I've been shooting the same. I honestly was hesitant to order them just because I've been shooting Montex for so long, and I've sharpened. I've shot like 4 deer with the same set of Montex. I just keep sharpening them up, and
they're great arrows or broadheads.
Yeah, so I mean, it was hard for me to wander away from Montec, but I really like the 4-blade option that Tooth of the Arrow had, and obviously G5 doesn't make a 4-blade broadhead, so
they don't. And I like the shorter profile because
Yeah.
I like the striker broadhead from G5 a lot. I found that for me had better flight characteristics than the Montec.
What's the difference? Design difference.
The striker is a shorter profile.
Kind of like the Tooth of the Arrow.
That's why I went with the Tooth of the Arrow. It's even a shorter profile. It's like a slick trick or a grizz trick.
yeah.
And I think, I don't know which one. I never shot those. I don't know if it's the slick trick or the grizz trick, but are they both? They might both be 4 blades.
I don't know. I've never shot either of
But
those.
yeah, I like that. I like the setup a lot. They're awesome. I can't wait to shoot deer with them.
It was just finally time for me to get out of my comfort
Try
zone a
something
little
different.
with my broadheads, see what else is out there.
From your Montex?
I've given G5 a lot of my money, so I mean,
Right.
It's a
Man.
local brand for us.
right, yeah.
Where's the Tooth of the Arrow out of?
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yeah, just so people know, G5's headquarters is in Memphis, Michigan, which is about
20 minutes from
20
here,
minutes
15,
from where we
yeah.
sit. That's why we're all kind of a little biased towards their stuff.
Well, they make good stuff, too.
Right?
They make
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff, and I know people that work there, so.
My dad actually
I think
applied to
they're-
that shop today.
Did he?
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, that's a great.
Machinist.
They need a bomber in there.
What a good move. Pick your mic up a little bit there. A little bit.
It's been sounding weird all night. How's that?
I can't wait.
It's better.
A little better?
Well, you can move it off of your mustache.
Your Tom Selleck's
It's a
tickling
nice
it.
mustache.
It's my filter. It alters the sound of my voice.
What sounds weird about it? In your headset, it sounds weird?
It just sounds echoey, like I'm underwater. It might just be a shitty sound of my voice.
I like your voice. I think you got a good voice for radio.
Morgan Freeman-esque voice.
Do your best, Morgan Freeman.
Sit down, Kevin. Let me read you a nursery tale.
You're the white. The white version.
It was great.
It's getting awfully
That's
late for
great.
bed. Curl up, son. Grab your blankie.
That was cool.
It's different. Where'd you get a Centennial IPA?
Well, for my good friend. don't know. I was swatting this bug as it was landing on my.
A good pheasant.
Yeah,
One of the
I just
last-
had one kill.
Hopefully one of the last mosquitoes of the year. It's a nice cold front tonight.
Yeah.
It's got to be
They said 48 for a low by my house.
really.
Yes, I'm hoping so. I'm gonna
Well,
start a little bonfire me when I
I
get home.
turned my heat. I just set my thermostat to heat when I came out because Gunner's sleeping inside, and I looked at the thermostat and had the AC set to 74, and it was only 70 in the house. So I thought, well,
60
probably gonna get
degrees.
cold tonight.
Clay,
60?
Michigan.
Nice.
Don't give our location up, dude.
Oh,
jeez.
oh
Wow.
no.
That's not our location.
That's
mine.
mine.
Close to our location.
I'm in the woods.
You have to be
Doesn't
careful
matter.
of predators online now.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of sickos. I also wrapped my tree sticks,
Yeah,
my steps. I bought the stuff on
the stealth
Amazon.
stealth strip.
Nope. There's none of those. I think those companies probably make a really great product, but I found this.
Hockey
I
tape.
don't know if you guys know about. It's almost like that. I mean, when I get something in my head, I'll do a lot of research and kind of go gung ho towards it, and I just wanted to stealth it out. So I was constantly looking online for different ideas, and this stuff is like hockey tape, camel form. I don't think it's the company's
almost
name.
like it reminds me of
Like an ace
Ace
like
bandage
a
wrap.
space, like a sports wrap. Like
Yeah,
if you hurt
exactly.
your ankle or something.
It
Playing
adheres to
soccer.
itself. It
Non-stick,
Non-stick.
non-marring.
You're right. I wrapped it. It was in camo, like digi camo. I took all the hardware off my steps. I wrapped it, and it makes them super grippy, quiet, and it camos them out. I mean, it was a good deal. I think for $30 I could do 4 complete steps wrapped, and it turned out pretty nice. You guys looked at it tonight.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
sharp.
It is. It does look good. I
For
really like that climbing belt you put together too.
Right, and that was on. I've been just trying to absorb as much information. I went on YouTube and watched a bunch of videos for different, climbing techniques. I think I typed in lineman belts or whatever, and it was a DIY sportsman YouTube videos that showed him and his setup that he had for a lineman's belt and for your tree tie-off point. And I really just it looked like it was a simple, just perfect, idea for hunting. The setup, and I ordered that whole thing. Climber Man or something. It's an actual rock climber. I don't even know what you'd call it.
Mountaineering.
Mountaineering. It's like just a one tension. You slide your rope through this device that hooks to your carabiner, and you have to pull a latch to make it looser, but you can tighten it any time you want, and you can lean right back on it. It's 100% positive pressure. Your rope won't slip in it.
Yeah.
So great
What's
for
the-
setting those.
What's the brand on it, or don't you know?
I can go. It's in my truck right here. I can go grab it.
Okay.
It's if you go on the DIY Sportsman, I think it was something about mod steps, like putting a step on the bottom of your Lone Wolf or your quick tree climbing system stick. He tied like a couple loops on it, but I think it was something about hunting on a saddle or something. I don't know, but it was on there, and I tried it using my Lone Wolf for the first time the other day, and it worked perfect. Super comfortable, like leaning back. I could almost feel like I could take a nap just standing on one of my steps, leaning back in the harness. So,
Dude, I got a in-depth schooling on the whole history of Lone Wolf, like everything, riding around with Dan this weekend, because Andre was the founder, right?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Of Lone
Andre?
Wolf?
Yeah.
Who's Andre?
He's, I think that's his name.
Andre the Giant.
No.
No.
I
Anybody
could
want
be
a
wrong.
peanut?
But the guy that started Lone Wolf.
Is he
Oh.
the guy that makes XOP now?
Nope, that's not how it works.
All right.
I'll explain it to you after the podcast.
All right.
But the guy that started Lone Wolf and owned and operated it for years until he sold it
Mm-hmm.
was Dan's best hunting buddy. And so it was just really cool to hear like all the little details about how the whole thing started and existed and how it went and where it is now. What are you guys doing? Singing to each other?
He's kind of serenading me. It's good.
I think
Like,
we picked up some background music.
music. I don't
Yeah,
know where
I
it's
know.
coming from, but
What is that?
Is that? It's not you.
He's singing. I mean,
It's on the
nice.
radio. I got the radio's on in the garage, just real
Oh,
quietly.
Really?
Oh.
It sounds like it's from a party off in the distance.
Wednesday night party.
You guys are ridiculous,
And considering they told you to put the radio on.
right? That's what
Well,
I'm thinking.
I didn't think he did. I don't know.
You didn't hear it until now.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
You guys are pretty observative.
tonight.
you know, just to show you, just to show you where my mind's been lately. I've been working 84 hours a week, and I've been losing my mind. When I'm off of work, I'm like completely brain dead. I got off to work the other day. I go to jump in the shower, and I think I'm throwing my skivvies in the laundry hamper, but I lift up the lid of the toilet and I throw them in there. And I hop in the shower. I'm like, did I just do that? And I lifted up the lid. I'm like, yeah, I just threw my underwear in the toilet. I don't know why I did that.
Been hanging out with too many 2-year-olds.
I don't know. It's just these hours drive me crazy.
Yeah, you get kooky after a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of losing it.
Yeah, that's bad, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Let's move to Bomber. Bomber, let's talk about your gear setup for the 2017 archery season.
let's.
What are you gonna do?
Well,
Bring that to the table. Bring
hold
his
on.
boat.
Listen. Yeah, grab your boat.
yeah, let's go look
grab
at
my
let's look
bow.
at this.
You
Let's
want to
dissect
give
it.
some background?
Anybody that wants to see can, at some point here in the soon future, potentially head to the YouTube page.
Yeah, I made a YouTube page. I think if you just put in YouTube Deer Hunter Podcast, it'll pop up.
Nice.
There's no videos there currently, but this podcast she'll be up there.
Look at that.
So
She
what are
is
we-
a beaut.
Put your headset on so we can hear what you're
What's that?
saying and tell
60
us.
inches axle to axle.
Tell us what we're looking at, and let's listen. Let's let him give his take and
We'll be
talk
fair.
before we,
Well, my mother and father purchased this for me as a young pup in the late 1900s. I believe it was 97. I think it was a Jennings Buckmaster, competitor with the Matthews Solo Cam back in that day. Rocked that out for a little bit all through high school, then fell out of bow hunting.
Now wait. Let's just clarify. High school was 15 years ago.
When we graduated?
2001.
That would be
16.
16. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah.
got she's seen a few ice cream seasons.
Yeah, she has some seasons, not miles, but yes. Yeah, came home from the Navy, tried to get back into hunting and everything, being away for 4 years, and pulled out the old Jennings and slung some arrows, and just wasn't feeling it. Just kind of slowly, I guess, dissected myself away from the archery world and just had no interest in it whatsoever. And now I'm slowly getting drawn back to it, and I actually opened this thing up for the very first time in 11 years.
Yeah, and brought it over, and it's sitting here in front of us.
And it's seriously like a time capsule looking at your faces.
So I was excited because I thought, man, that's cool that you have that old bow, and whatever. I mean, if it functions correctly,
Yeah.
and it's a good bow, and you can shoot it true, then kill a bunch of deer with it. However, there's mixed opinions around here right now as to if it is a good old bow and it does shoot true.
It is not a good old bow.
Oh, come on.
And it was offensive to shoot. I don't know what they did for their string guide on this bow, but it's like a pivoting joint.
Pivoting
wonky.
arm.
That
Yeah,
the-
it's like a
hinged arm.
yeah.
The cables are on, and when you shoot the bow,
Draw that thing, Kevin. I want to
Well,
see what that
did
looks like.
it
I'm
feels
not
like the
gonna try
bow
to
is
do it
trying to
with my
jump
headset
down range from you.
Didn't
You're
Matthews
scared.
do that too, or was that just a Jennings
Maybe I
thing?
can.
That's a Jennings thing.
You've heard about this bow.
Has
They call it the Widowmaker.
Has recurve limbs, split limb.
Any vibration is just lost energy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it is honestly one of the most inefficient designs I've seen
It feels good though.
until you let go of that string.
Maybe it needs a way heavier arrow.
He was way underspined on his arrow, but I shot
Oh,
a
that's
350 out of it too.
Yeah, I was
Maybe he
shooting,
needs a 350 with 200 grains riding up front to soak some of
There
that.
you go.
Dude,
I was shooting 400s out of it with 100 grain field tips today.
Yeah, that's not.
And I am completely and utterly out of the archery hunting loop. It is as if you picked me up off the street and I knew nothing.
That's why you're a rifle expert.
Right. Well, you got a traditional recently.
Yeah, got that old
Yeah.
1967 Ben Pearson 53-pound recurve I was
So
playing
it's-
around with.
So it's not salvageable?
It is. I mean, you can use it, but I just don't think it's worth putting money into.
The only money I'd be remotely
Strings.
interested in putting in that was, what do you think, a sight and rest?
Sight rest
I'll buy
strings.
that sight off you, or you can give it to me, however you feel about it.
I'm not
I've
looking
got
to
one
shoot,
for you, Kevin.
deer at 60 yards or something. I just want to kill something.
No,
and
I
get
know.
some meat in the freezer.
I understand, but you're talking literally that bow.
You're not going to tell me that he's not better off with this than his traditional bow, right? I mean,
As long as those limbs doesn't explode in his
pausing.
face. I don't
the
know.
limbs are scary.
Yeah,
They
there is a
are.
dual.
So-
it's a split limb,
They're so
Yeah.
thin.
and they're crazy looking.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's probably fine.
It's the first time I
It
see
looks.
Doesn't look like it's.
It doesn't. I can't visually see any warping in these old split limbs. You remember Nick had that Hoyt?
Yeah.
all the
and
Hoyt smoke.
Wasn't that a nice bow though?
It was until the limbs looked like bananas.
No way.
I am.
It's-
I
Yeah.
remember that old Hoyt.
It's hard to tell if that's straight or not, but
It's like.
hey, it's a
it's-
relic.
Yeah,
It's 20 years old.
I am completely out of the loop as far as technology goes. It's pretty much as if I never hunted before with a bow. Jumping back into this, I guess, with how far it's come in 20 years.
And this
So are
is
you-
just going to cause you pain and grief.
Are you
along the
open to
way.
getting a bow? I mean, if you bought a bow right now, you'd have for 20 years, right?
I have this for
Yeah.
20 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Look where it's got me.
But if this one is,
Yeah, as far as like investment wise.
Don't buy. You don't have to buy brand new.
No, I don't want it.
no.
Curious to see what and where this can get me with as minimal advancement I could do.
The technology has changed so much
yeah.
in the last even 10 years. You know, if you just went and bought like a 2008 or 2010, you can get them for a couple $100, and it's just so much better than what's going on right there.
Oh, it's just.
I mean, we can try, but I just don't.
I'd be curious without investing too much heart and soul and money into it to see what it get me. It just kills me to think of the money that was spent on this thing, and it's spotless. But
Right.
A good bow fishing bow.
It's like saying, like, "Oh, I got this old computer. I bought it in '95.
But it's so
No, it
clean.
should still be good. I never used
Quick,
it. It's
let me get
so
you-
clean.
hold
yeah.
on a second. Let me get you the C prompt.
Right.
Do you like Frogger?
I mean, that's just how fast archery technology has changed, and
Yeah.
No doubt you can kill something with that. I'm not doubting that.
you
One
could.
bit.
But
You-
I'm
I
just
mean-
saying, if you're actually looking to put money into anything, I think anything you throw at that might be a lost cause.
Yeah.
New strings wouldn't be bad.
It's actually a brand new string. I had it put on in 06, shot it a few times.
That's
and
not brand new. That's
No.
11 years old.
That's just. I don't even want to sit by that bow anymore.
No, I
I've
can
had
hear
bows
the
with-
limbs splintering as I'm sitting there.
It's brand new in 06.
They're actually new strings.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I never heard a dry rod. Apparently.
Looks like the crypt keeper on that.
Back in 06, I had that string put on.
Oh.
Shot it. I'm like, I'm not into this anymore. Sealed her up in its sarcophagus and opened
No,
it up
you got
today
a
for the
great
first
thing
time.
to hang on your garage wall and say, "Look at this sweet bow that I got."
All right. Get a collection going.
I just
No,
want-
I kill something with this year, Nick. Okay.
I just don't want to spend any more money on something that I'm not really sure I'm wholeheartedly into.
This is only going to
That's horrible.
dissuade you from getting into the hobby.
No.
Yes. Shoot that
He-
bow. You
Just-
didn't shoot it yet. It's that bad.
You were silent for a while after that first shot.
Yeah.
I'll set up my target right now and fling an arrow with this thing.
Man.
I didn't
Can't be
like
that
it.
bad. It's horrible.
Look
Kevin,
Look at
what do
that
you
string
think?
guide.
Did you shoot it?
I didn't shoot it, but
I don't trust the string
mean,
right now. That's
wanna
probably
get
not a good idea.
You know, our second video on our YouTube channel will be these assholes shooting this bow, so we can see their opinion of it.
I
also.
shot this thing probably about 20 times before I came over today.
In
Yeah.
06.
Oh. Yeah, I felt like I was shooting one of my rifles. It's got some kick to it.
Yeah.
Kick.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't normally
feels
hear
like
kick
a
when I hear.
hand. It's like a handgun in your
Oh,
hand.
wow.
It like literally tries to jump out of your hand when you shoot
Feels
it.
like you're shooting a 38.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Derringer.
Yeah.
Ow.
Police issue.
Yeah.
well, I guess the ultimate question: are you going to bow hunt this year?
I don't know if I could.
Please. Just do it.
Oh, this late. I don't know. This late in the game, like I don't know.
Yeah, a lot. Yep.
We're
Yeah. You can make a move right now. You got plenty of time.
You do.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
I'd be willing to.
20 yards.
Public scorn.
Public scoring.
What, as far as buying a new
Shame.
bow or
No,
bow
no.
hunting?
Hunt this season. Take
I-
yourself a whitetail buck
Yeah,
deer.
I'd
Or
be willing to
shoot a
rock
nice
this thing
fat
out.
doe.
Oh, ooh,
Like I said, I'll put
that's
a
all I'm
peep-
out for.
I'll put a peep sight and stuff on it for you. But
Come up to the club and shoot with us on Tuesday.
I'll try a new peep sight. What, heavier splined arrow?
yeah, you definitely.
What's wrong
need
with
to
that
have-
peep sight? It looks like a gargantuan.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Looks like I got a
It's
thong
the old
across
school
my
one
eyelids.
where you got the.
1 inch.
It tucks into the center of your string, and you got the 3 strands coming off around it, so it completely blocks your sight window.
That sounds like a good idea.
My
Yeah,
main
it's the-
my main mission as far as hunting goes is just try and.
Like picture a bow that came out in '97, and you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, how do you,
Are you?
Yeah.
How do you feel
Surprised
about
doesn't have that rubber little deal.
Yeah.
That's what I
straighten it
asked him.
out.
Drew said, "I'll get you a
What
new
do they
peep
call that?
sight."
The rubber. That
I
rubber.
can't even remember.
It's not like a tourniquet.
Drew said, "I'll get you."
Straightens out your peep.
Yeah, he asked me. He's like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, I'll get you one of the new peep sights. They just split the string and you tie the D loop so they line up." He goes, "Is that one of the ones that has the rubber?"
Little
rubber
bungee
string?"
deal.
And like,
Yeah.
no, those have gone away.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it now. I'm not. I ain't scared.
Pulling it back, it feels fine.
I got
It's-
health insurance.
It's good.
How do you feel about my 91?
I'd rather shoot that
Oh
91
yeah. What
than
the
that.
heck?
You see that peep peep?
You can pee-pee.
Pee-pee.
You see that little pee-pee?
You can barely see it.
I mean, it's horrible to look through. It's a horrible idea. Like, why don't you just stick a piece of paper in front of my face while I'm trying to shoot this bow?
Are
You can barely make out the.
That's how
It's
my
so-
first bow had those.
Yeah,
It's
on.
like
that
that
was
string
the-
splitter peep sight I tried.
Oh, that
I used to hold like literally quarter-sized groups with that back in the day,
Well,
and
Yeah.
well, now I got this goofball habit.
Back in 1997.
I don't know.
this is
I need to get back. I want to get into. I don't know, extending. I'm missing out on the whole archery season.
Yeah,
There's a
just-
lot of good bows out there for like 200
right.
to 300
You know
bucks.
what?
Yeah.
We
You
should start a
just-
GoFundMe amongst us
You
friends.
can get bows that are
Let's-
completely.
The
We
the
could
guy
ask-
makes a great living,
could
but
ask-
hey, let's
we
let's
could
just
ask
all
the-
pitch in and get him a decent used bow.
Could ask our fan base.
Maybe. Anybody have an old bow? Maybe
Yeah, anybody
Post
listening to the
2000
podcast that has a bow
post
that,
2000.
2005. We'll go that
Five?
far.
This was
Yeah.
meant
Five
to
and
kill
newer.
deer in '97.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
It
those
was.
deer were different. Those 97 deer. Do you think of all the different music they were listening to back then?
Yeah, some Soundgarden.
they were just sitting
Is
around
that
being
era?
all
Oh,
mopey listening to Lane
Soundgarden.
Staley,
That's
Yeah.
depressing.
moving all slow.
I shot this deer and the tripod album fell out of his pocket.
Al Money, when are you going to have him by?
Pretty soon. Pretty soon. Hey,
His
how about
stand
this?
was awesome.
Fluke.
When I heard it.
Did he take his
I've been-
hunter safety course?
Yeah, I've been so busy, and I figured I didn't think Dan would take it unless I got on him. And I called him yesterday, and he's done. He took his hunter
Nice.
safety. Yeah, he took it right all upon himself. Go get it
Get
done.
out.
Yep.
Is he going to bow hunt or just gun hunt?
I don't think he's thought that far.
You want to shoot some guns? I got some guns.
We got a bow here for him.
Sweet 97 Buckmaster.
Yeah, this thing is sweet. What is this? What is this made out of? Recycled beer cans?
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. I personally am not.
Look at this laminate riser.
I'm not disgusted by it, but I haven't shot it yet.
Shoot it.
I miss my old bow. I miss the memories from the time past of being out there as a kid and hunting with those bows.
Can you hand me that little sipper there?
Look at these recurve limbs.
I don't even want to publicly announce
What is it, Kevin? Are you serious?
Excuse me.
I'll take a little nip of that.
You want some Hennessy?
I will. I don't care.
Oh my God!
Don't ask me why. I was up north a couple weekends ago. I was like, rum doesn't sound good. I didn't really want to drink beer.
You bought that? I thought it'd be a gift. I was working in an area where,
Don't most deer hunters drink Hennessy?
Yeah. Drew was over there. How was it?
It's delicious, man.
I can't even remember what this tastes like.
I didn't buy it by accident.
Dude,
I'm gonna post pictures of this string guide on the website there, or on the Facebook page, so people can see what we're talking about with this.
is it really that bad?
You drank a little much of it.
I don't think so. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
SoCo, and I can't do that either.
I just don't think it's worth putting any
No.
effort into.
That was a horrible idea.
Just don't want to buy anything else.
Dude, that you know what's cool about that is that you got that, and it's an art piece you can hang on the wall, man.
Oh man, I got lots of art at home.
Well, now you got
that's
more.
another piece.
I put it here in the podcast studio.
It's really that bad?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
He's not gonna bullshit you if it's a piece
Oh, I
of
know you
shit.
won't.
I don't want to work on it personally.
There you
but
go.
It's just a split limb. Can I get a conversion kit?
Make your own limbs. Turn it into a.
I'm sure it was really top notch when it came out
Probably
20
not.
years ago, but it's just not.
The only reason I'm against it is because I feel that it's very possible that bow's unsafe.
The split limbs on that look.
It's
a little
not worth
sketchy.
losing an eye or some shit
That
over.
bad, huh?
I don't.
It's a risk.
Yeah,
It's like I'm shooting a time bomb.
I don't know about that. It's
Dude,
just not
I'm
gonna
trying
be,
to help your case and scare him from using the damn bow, and now you're gonna
They're
get
not
all honest
split or
on me.
anything like
No,
that. at all.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna. Let me finish. It is not. I don't feel like it's gonna kill you by any means, but I don't feel like you'll ever be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's gonna Bowtech blow up in your face like those Bowtechs all did a couple years ago. But this is close
Did that really
to that.
happen? What happened?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was Matthews that were blowing up on people too. So I mean, I don't know.
Nobody likes getting blown up on.
No.
Some people do.
I am not a fan.
Like doing the
Can we
blowing
move
up.
past this?
Yeah.
Can we move past this Jennings Buckmaster?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Talk about
Get
something
that
else.
thing off it.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Somebody
just it's a top. No,
Somebody give me a current note. Today's newspaper, maybe a bottle of whiskey, and I'll put it back in its time capsule.
oh man,
Perfect.
I'm sorry, Nick. Just don't like it.
Well,
I like.
you like what?
Is it more discouraging?
Doing the blowing up?
No.
Can be honest here.
I mean, it's cool. I like old bows.
Yeah.
I like old bows too, but I just at some point in time they just kind of
Like anything old.
yeah. I
Yeah,
know you
Bomber
do.
is anything old kind of guy.
But it's
Right.
it's like I don't know.
But you like old stuff because it was built good.
Yeah.
That is old stuff that's not.
No,
built
that's
good.
not necessarily.
It's like a 91.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a 91 Sunbird.
No, I was going to say it's a 91 Camaro. Yeah, those Tuneport 350s sure were state of the art.
yeah, great.
Oh, it's like a Ford 2.9.
So what else? We've had our
I'm pretty much covered. My last thing to talk about is my last thing to talk about. Is there
How long we've been
anything else? I'm going up north. I'm going to the Pigeon River. Second weekend in October
Ice.
with a canoe and Alex Slosser.
Nice.
And we're going to try to get mobile in the canoe, go down in the Black River, and kill a couple deer. I figured you guys your hands are tied with going to Ohio, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much eating up all my
I'll be your cook.
October brownie points for Ohio.
You're welcome
so.
to come.
I'm actually
I'll probably be free if nothing's going on.
I figure it'll be beautiful, right? The colors will all be just like.
I'll go trout. I don't think the trout will be going.
You're
then.
going bow hunting, you asshole.
Dude, this guy's
Well, he's already talking. Yeah, it looks so.
dinking around, dual income, no kids, talking about.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
I
if I can
forgot about all
splurge
that
and spend
stuff.
$300 on a used bow.
You never know what could happen tomorrow.
No, but I can make an educated
I
guess.
forgot all about
Yeah.
that.
Like,
no kids.
Yeah, you're gonna
dual
go
income
home
thing.
and relax. That's what's gonna happen tomorrow.
You probably found like married zero and stuff.
I do.
Oh man.
Yeah, don't talk about trout fishing in the second weekend of October.
Yeah,
We're
keep
talking
your
about bow
trout
hunt.
to yourself.
Hey, honestly, even if you want to come up there with your recurve and just sit in a ground blind and watch deer
That'd be
come
awesome.
by and wing some arrows, I don't know.
You could hide behind that Jennings, maybe. Bring your recurve.
Just lay it across the tree and
know,
sit
big-
behind
You
it.
could do a deer drive. You just walk through the woods and just
Scare 'em
shoot
out.
arrows with the Jennings, and it'll push all the deer towards Kevin and Alex on the other side of the.
Do you know, a
Pigeon.
good spot I could dig a pitfall and fashion my Jennings as a punji stick and have deer fall on it?
Oh my gosh, this has gone too far.
Yeah.
I'm hoping actually, not this weekend, but next weekend. I've been working 7/12s pretty much all summer long. I've got my cousin's wedding up in Traverse City. Not this weekend, but next. And my uncle has invited me up there to go deer hunting with him this fall. And I plan on possibly getting up there because I'm taking the week off for opener up here. And I'm either going to, that length of time is like 10 days. I'm going to do both weekends. And I told my wife that I'll basically be on a hiatus. So don't expect, I might pop in every now and then and surprise her. But I'm going to, maybe go down to Ohio for a few days, even by myself.
Surprise!
Well, my uncle wants me to come up there and hunt with him, so I thought maybe this next weekend I can go scout with him one morning out that way. He hunts this orchard up there, and then maybe some state land. So I'm going to try to do that. Hopefully I have
See
something
you
to
like
talk
breaking into your own house with a ski mask, like surprise.
No, I mean, I probably won't have to do that, but I'm just going to, that week, we've got our trip planned for Ohio.
Yep.
That is something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. But then, like 3 weeks later, I'm taking a whole week off, right in the prime of rut, and I'm hoping to hit. I'm hoping I already have a tag filled for Ohio. If I don't, I probably, honestly, even if I have to go by myself for 2-3 days, 4
I
days
took that
before gun.
whole week off of.
Well,
How long are you guys going to be in Ohio for?
Three
4
full
days.
days of hunting.
Yeah.
About 4
Well, we're gonna go up
Wednesday.
night. We're gonna hunt all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and possibly Sunday morning, and then
Yeah.
come home.
Probably.
Because like 4-hour drive, the same as when we go up north.
Yeah.
And if I don't fill a tag, I feel like 3 weeks later I'll have a better understanding of maybe what I saw.
Really, Sunday's off the table because you can't
Don't
shoot a
tell me that
deer
right now.
and then bone it out and everything because you can't
Yes,
bring
we
the deer
can.
home.
Yes,
We
I
can
guess
handle
you
it with
can.
3 guys. We could just
Yeah.
all dig in there like a pack of
Yeah.
lions and tear that thing up.
get Lecter on it.
Right.
Got to find a taxidermist.
I don't want to
and
hear
everything.
Sunday's odd question, but we'll see. Hopefully, I'll tag out the first day we're there.
You
But
wouldn't
if
hunt Sunday morning?
Yeah, we're in Ohio. Come on.
I'm thinking logistically of
I
having
don't.
to.
I hate your logistic thinking sometimes.
Yeah,
I
but
Somebody has to be the adult.
No,
on
you
these
know,
trips.
you
my
could
wife
at-
says the same thing. I
Driving
disagree.
all that way. You could at least sit till 10 a.m. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Just-
saying. Come
just-
on, man.
you
Just find a
even
big-
if you shoot a deer at 10 a.m. What? I mean, he's right. You could be there all night. If you shoot a deer at 10 a.m. and
I'll
you
call him to
never
work
shoot
the
it-
next day. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd you'd have to be
Heck
prepared
yeah,
to do
dude.
that.
I'll get an Uber all the way home.
No, you'd have to be prepared to do that.
No,
'cause
that's
if you live or
sweet. I
shoot
want to
it-
take a day off of work because you shot a deer. That sounds great.
Well, I would do the same for you, Drew.
That's what I did for Wyoming.
Right.
Like I'm not driving 1,500 miles and not come home with anything.
Right. Well, but I will not to say I'll be disappointed if I don't shoot a deer on that trip. I will not be disappointed.
Somebody's
I'm
gonna
super
shoot
excited.
a deer.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if I don't tag out, I think I'm going to go back for those at least 2-3
I
days
mean-
before opening day up here. And if you want to come with me, or Jason, or whoever wants to come down with me for those few days, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be crazy down there.
Let's be honest. You or me are going to shoot a deer, not Jason. I just want to throw that in there to
No.
see if Jason actually listens to the episode he's
Well,
been on. So.
Right.
See if you
On that note, I think it'll be me.
pale horse.
Pale Horse 16.
Yeah, I
Okay.
cannot. I'm so
Get-
crazy about this.
Get
deer
your
season.
Rubbermaid bin ready.
What's your
Yeah.
Instagram handle?
I think it's
Handle.
N-Bomber5.
That's what they call it.
Are you serious?
I attached my name.
Who's they?
Am I permitted to say my full name?
Social media people.
It's
Alright.
your full name. Why
I
do
don't
I
know
care?
anything
I don't
about
know.
that.
Nick Bomberito.
That's not what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
it's N-Bomber5.
What's with the 5?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
My lucky number. It's the 5th day of February, the day of my birth.
Okay, that's-
I
What's
don't
yours?
oh, Ryan Nevedal. My name.
That's
I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I'm supposed to think of something
Yeah.
clever, I think, but I
Yeah.
just
No,
put
it
my
doesn't
name
have
down.
To be. It could be whatever
N-
you want it to be.
N-B-O-M-M-A-R.
Is that
I
really
don't want
what
the
yours
people
is?
to get.
It's your
upset.
name?
Yeah. Oh, Ryan's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my actual. I think I did an underscore. I thought I was being
Oh,
fancy.
man.
I don't know, guys. See,
Well,
people do
you-
things, and then
Yeah.
I like, okay, that's how you do
It
it.
is. It's Ryan underscore Nevedal.
See, I
I'm
got
kinda-
it. I got the internet figured out.
You forcefully
Interwebs.
made mine for me while we were
Interwebs.
driving up north.
Yeah, I did. I made his for him while we were driving up north.
I refused to get on this stuff because I just...
Drew's-
Kevin pressured me to do
Drew's
it.
I didn't
too.
wanna do it.
Drew's isn't much different than
It's like, well,
Ryan's.
if I'm doing this Deer Hunter podcast, we're getting on Instagram.
Drew underscore Vist.
I'm trying to slowly
shorten it
disappear
up
into the
a bit.
woodwork, and then Instagram was created. But I like it. It's been fun.
Yeah, honestly, what do you think about it? Because you've been using it for a while now,
Yeah,
compared
I-
to like Facebook.
I completely wrote off the whole book of faces a couple months ago. I don't do anything whatsoever with it or
Nice.
check it. And
But you like Instagram?
yeah, it's cool.
Who doesn't like pictures?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
of things they like.
yeah.
That's
po-
it. Puppies and sailboats.
yeah. Positive images and experiences of things that interest me. So it's been more.
Would you make a page for your
No,
daughter?
it's funny. My brother said that because when he was on Facebook and everybody gets in these heated debates on politics and
Oh,
everything
God.
else, he said he was so sick of it. He's on his Instagram more, and all he sees is puppies and sailboats because
Yeah.
that's what he's into.
Oh yeah.
So it makes him happy.
Yeah.
He just goes there and says, "Oh, there's a puppy. There's a sailboat."
Fish,
His day ends happy.
fishing, outdoors, pointers, and triumphs. That's all. Like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that.
It's crazy that Facebook owns both of them. Yet they
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
They bought Instagram.
I try to not be on Instagram too much either. You can get sucked into those things.
Yeah, I do find it getting yourself like wrapped up. Oh,
It doesn't. It can't take up that much
No,
time
no.
though, because you blow through the feed real quick, and it's like, well,
Nice.
that's it.
Yep.
Instant gratification.
I
Yeah.
keep. I keep my I guess whatever.
It's a
list.
social media quickie.
Yeah, it's just like. Just like all
That's
my
a good way
close
of putting
friends.
it.
It's
That's-
the
it's actually
Tinders
perfect,
of
Kevin.
social media.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
what?
The Tinder of social media.
Yeah.
Tinder?
I don't like.
That sounds
mine.
dirty.
I just keep my list of people or friends or whatever small, so it's just like a small group. It's like you guys. So
Yeah, I
like,
did
okay,
notice
cool.
you're not following a lot of people.
I don't.
I don't think you are.
Am I you?
I don't know what I'm following. What does it mean when you're following people?
I don't know. We'll change topic.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I can't do social media.
You can do it. You got.
I'll try
What are you
harder.
talking about? You got like videos of you setting your
Yeah, you
camera
got
up and
time
climbing the
lapse
tree
and-
stands.
That was
and
cool.
I'm just
edited
trying
You're just
videos.
closet social
You
media.
think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right.
Mr.
I'm just worried about mom and
Mr.
dad will think.
I'm a pipe fitter. Pay attention to me.
I'm a person too.
No, you do. You edit videos and put. You have
I
edited videos
don't
on
think
your.
I've edited videos. How do you edit video? What do you mean?
You have like time lapse videos of you setting up
That's
tree
the
stands,
iPhone.
climbing them, shooting a bow, climbing down.
I'm glad you like my stuff.
I like your work.
Ryan,
Ryan,
I was honestly
I'm a
just
fan.
I wanted to fish. Thank you. I was just fishing for compliments. Thanks, guys.
You caught a big one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Keeper.
6'4".
But this deer season, honestly, what is everybody's main goal this season?
To have edible meat in my freezer, antlers beside me,
It's a good goal.
which means I don't care about antlers. I just want a deer that needs to be harvested, QDMA style.
Yeah, or like do a couple goals. Like
Yeah, I got a handful of different things, man. It just depends. I'd like to shoot a 130-inch deer.
in Michigan.
Yep.
That's a very tough goal.
Yep. I'd like to do that. I'd also like to shoot a deer with that 1991 black bear.
I want to get deer with my side lock, 50 cal this year. Patch and round ball.
That's cool. What about your traditional?
Yeah, it'd be fun to shoot a deer with the traditional bow, but something about that bow I just got from the flea market. I paid $20 for that bow too.
It's a good story. That's a cool bow.
That's
a bear.
That was around the time when I started. So like that was the stuff. Like, I was looking at that. That's what guys were walking out of the woods with when I was just starting to be conscious of like what this whole thing was. And I'm kind of drawn to it. And get the old quickie quiver loaded up with some aluminum arrows, and I'm gonna put I'm gonna shoot the toothed arrow broadheads on my diamond because I like that shorter profile for the higher velocity, or velocity's right? That's the right term. Feet per second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
velocity.
Yeah, that would be speed or whatever.
Right. But for the little slower bow, I'm going to use the 2-blade Simmons Tiger Shark, the 175 grain.
I've seen pictures of them that you've posted.
Why not some bear grizzlies?
Because I have the Simmons Tiger Sharks.
That's a good point.
They're sitting right there.
Very good point.
Throw those on some aluminum arrows and set a sight and a rest up on that thing and have a deer come in at 20 yards and
Some tracking string.
pinwheel.
Tracking.
Tracking. I remember helping.
Dude, you nailed it.
Dude,
You nailed it. Yeah. Absolutely. Get a scent drip bag,
Little
tracking string.
Little tampon and tracking string mounted off the front stabilizer.
who was that? I was helping you. I think we first started hanging out and we went and tracked a doe.
Not me.
Oh, that was over L's. L shot his first doe.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And we went
Yeah,
there.
I
And
remember
he
that.
had the tracking string. I'm like,
No.
I think even back then, I'm like, people actually use that stuff. And we found him. It was such a cool. It was a neat thing to spend that with you guys. We were all together and we
Dude.
found his doe.
Yeah,
We
his
followed.
dad had the butt out. It was the first time I ever
Yeah.
used the butt
It
out
was-
to clean a deer.
The
That was
derriere.
awesome.
Yeah, the derriere.
And we set it up on this like little ditch line, and he gutted it.
God,
And,
I
we
forgot
hung out.
about
We drank
that.
beers in the garage. It was
It was
It
great.
behind
at
Al's
his
dad's
It was
house.
such an
Oh,
awesome
no
night.
way.
That
I
was
remember that.
amazing.
We showed
Yeah.
up to track the deer.
We had all
And it
been
was
at,
dark
like,
and we
were
had
out at the-
headlamps and it was a friggin'
I met
tracking
Ale the
string.
first time. Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome.
I forgot about that. He shot that with the Oneida, didn't
He
he?
did.
Did he? I don't
Yeah,
think
he was
it
shooting at
was.
Oneida.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a bow fishing setup. He had like the canister with. It was really cool. It
Bow
was.
fishing for deers.
We had that wood stove crank in the garage, and
Yeah,
I don't
of
think I've
course
ever
his
seen
dad
Al
was
so
being as rad
happy.
as possible too. So
I mean, I was at Al's wedding too, but I mean, I don't think he was a pretty happy guy back then. But no, that was cool. What about you, Drew? What's your big goals this season?
I'm not overly goal driven. I just kind of want to enjoy the season and have good laughs and have fun doing it, man. Live in the moment type deal.
Heck yeah.
I don't really have I don't need to shoot a deer so big or so old or anything. If a deer, I'm not going to shoot anything year and a half. And I probably let most 2.5s walk by. But as far as my season, my goal is to shoot a 3.5. It's not. Just want to have a good time and live it up and enjoy deer hunting. Really.
Joining up in northern Michigan, like the tradition we do with all you guys is
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like
I got that
90% of the enjoyment.
I'm definitely gonna make it up there this
I
year
got
and
the
spend
whole-
a night and a hunt with
Yeah.
you guys. I missed.
That's,
I don't know, last year and the year before, or something like that.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, I think.
And I think I was there maybe 2 seasons before that. I made it both seasons. I hadn't been up there as many times as all you guys spent up there, but it's always a good time to be up there. The crazy
Yeah.
stories. I remember just going up with Kevin and who else when I had brought that scraggly 7-point back to camp. I was holding its head. Somebody maybe took a poor shot on it and it took its head off because I thought it was cool. I wanted to save it. This deer was gone. It was rotten.
Yeah, where did that skull go?
I have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Where did
Oh,
you find that
ru-
at?
Well, can I tell a real quick story about the hunt?
Yeah.
That day was early October. The bucks were still running together, and I went and sat Al's stand over on the east side of the property.
I remember this.
Cool stand location, kind of open hardwoods, right up to that. Was that
It's a huckleberry.
Huckleberry? That's what I want to say. Huckleberry swamp right behind me. And I remember sitting there all night, hanging out. Didn't really see much. It was a really calm night. I think I'm swatting mosquitoes away. Still was pretty comfortable. But right at dusk, probably 20 minutes before dark, I had some movement behind me, and out popped an awesome 8-point. And it was either this one or the awesome 8-point that ran behind it, the one that Nick shot. I'm convinced of it. 130-inch 8-point Northern Michigan buck. Beautiful deer.
133.
133. Beautiful buck. And I'm convinced that one of them was the one that Nick shot, but they were running together. Probably 30 yards from me, and they ran. There was like a little strip of brush in between me and them the whole time. And one came out, and 20 yards behind that, the other one was coming. I grunted, got them to stop. They looked at me. They looked back in the direction they were coming from, and then they kind of kept going. And I had a goofy-looking bull elk come out right behind them. This bull elk was chasing around these bucks. He had something wrong with his left side antler. It was like short, kinda, and then the one on the right was like almost straight up, like a unicorn looking thing. It was a goofy looking elk. I could tell it was a younger one, and maybe there was some issues, maybe got injured, I don't know, but
Had a strong antler.
that was right at dark. So I remember getting down from the
child.
I remember getting down from the tree stand. I'm a little nervous at this elk because of how big. It was one of the first time I ever saw an elk in the
They're
woods.
intimidating. The
Yeah,
first
so
time you
I'm
walk
thinking
up
this
on
thing's gonna stampede me.
Bugle in the middle of the night when you're putting your blind away.
So it got dark in, I mean, it was 10 minutes. It was right at dusk. I climbed down from the tree stand. I start making my way back towards camp, and I'm thinking about, am I going to hide behind a tree if this elk comes and tries to gore me? I don't know what I was thinking, but my mind was playing tricks on me, and I literally tripped, and I held up my bow and so I wouldn't hit it against the ground, and I looked down, and I thought it was a log, but it was a dead little 7-point, like a Northern Michigan 7-point. I'd probably been there for, I'm thinking a couple weeks, so maybe like something else happened. I'm thinking it was a bad shot or something, but it was rotten pretty much already.
Did it have a tracking string?
No tracking string, no.
That's why
So I'm thinking I'm gonna take this head with me. It sounds a little gory, but I popped it right off, and I remember I'm walking back up to camp, and Kevin's already up at camp, and he's got a fire going, and it's real dark, and he's kind of looking at me, trying to see who's walking up to camp. And as I get close enough for him to kind of make out who it is, I hold up this deer's head, and I said, "I seen two bigger than this tonight." And Kevin's like, "What the heck are you? What do you got in your hand?" Like, this is a 7-point. You're like, "What the heck?" So I go up, and he's just like, "Oh man, you're rad." And I told him like how the story about seeing those two 8-points and stuff like that. So that's kind of where that little thing in Ruskell, he cleaned it out and did the European Euro mount for me.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
gotta take a look at that.
Anything happens up there in northern Michigan.
Post a photo on your Instagram of that thing.
The skull?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
So we
cool
can see
little
it.
crazy looking 7-point.
Yeah.
But personally, my goals this season is there's no way that I'm not gonna take away and learn a crazy amount hunting with each and every one of, with my friends this year. We're doing a lot of different things. We've been in it so deep this year.
Oh, it's crazy.
Getting down to Ohio.
So deep.
I just feel like as a hunter and somebody, that loves the outdoors, I'm gonna grow so much this year, and I'm gonna kill the biggest buck of all my friends.
Oh yeah, I like that you brought that up because we won't.
We should start a big buck pool. I mean, not that it's.
Alibaba.
We're gonna.
Okay.
We'll talk about it, and in the next whatever we'll figure it out. But yeah, between us, we got to do something. Some type of little wager.
Find a gentleman's agreement on this.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody buys a steak dinner or
something.
Yeah, maybe not a
Something.
steak dinner. I don't know.
I'm gonna shoot
Maybe I don't know.
the grayest faced doe.
We'll talk about it.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe like
We should get wrapped
what's
up.
the deal with this that's been sitting here on the
We've been waiting until
bar?
the end to talk about this because only the diehard Deer Hunter podcast listeners get to.
I can't even listen to a full
'Cause about
podcast. I'm so busy. I'm like halfway through 5 of them.
75% of the listening audience has
Gone
tuned
to
out
bed.
now.
Tuned
so
out.
The diehards are going to get opportunity to win a brand new Exodus Lift 2 trail camera. We're going to give it away.
It's a sweet cam.
It is.
So what's the deal? What's the skinny on this deal?
So there's the skinny, as you
What's
put
the
it.
I
poop?
mean,
What?
what?
What? It's an
know.
old phrase such as skinny.
Skinny is.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the poop?
Yeah.
I like skinny better. I don't know.
I don't like either one of them.
Why?
The deal is
Okay. What's the deal?
the deal is you can get there's three ways that you can enter, and each way will get you what?
I think you should just save it.
No, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't get it.
You lost me at 3 ways to enter.
Well,
kidding me.
I
You are
got yeah. I mean, I guess I walked into that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think
I
we're
am
getting a little
grown
slap
man.
happy. I think we gotta
It
wrap
is
this
late.
up
We
real
do need
soon.
to get to bed.
I know Drew
Alright.
said he wanted to be
You
home
can
by
gain
now.
3 entry points.
All right.
It's going to be a random drawing, and there's 3 ways that you can enter. You son of a bitches! You ruined my whole podcast. I've been waiting months to give this camera away.
I can't keep
we
it
need to-
together. I cannot keep it together. I'm sorry. Just
Fucking unprofessional.
I'm sorry.
Unprofessional.
34-year-old child. I'm sorry.
It's ridiculous.
Proceed.
All right. What happened? Pull it together.
Please don't edit this out.
It's like the kid in the library. It's like you're laughing in the library, you know, and you're not allowed to laugh.
Oh yeah.
You guys are fine. Take a break. Stupid.
Such an asshole.
Whose idea was this? Let's tell everybody how stupid we are. Put the headsets back on. Sit down.
Right now.
Sit down. We're going to finish this.
Finish strong. We're gonna cross the finish line hand in hand.
We're going to give a damn trail camera away.
if it kills us.
A brand new Exodus Lift 2. And you 3 ways that you can enter. We're back there. There'll be a Facebook post. Seriously. Go home.
Nope. You're finishing it. I'm gonna take my hand.
Yeah, you guys go.
We're gonna do this.
It's weird. It's weird. I don't know what happened. It's like we all got drugged.
I haven't laughed that hard in a long time.
What's a roofalin? There's going to be a graphic. The show art for this episode will have a Facebook post. You can share the Facebook post. That will gain you a point. So for people on Facebook, share the post that references this episode on your Facebook. That'll get you an entry. There will be an image on Instagram that you can share on Instagram that will also get you another point. And then the third way that you can get a point is by going to iTunes and leaving a ranking and a review for the podcast. I know everybody in this room's done it. People that, and Shannon was like, well, what if people have Android phone and they don't have access to iTunes? Well, I actually know a handful of people that do use Android phones that have gone on iTunes and left us a review. So, I don't know how many people will be willing to go through the effort to do all three of those things, but you can.
Hopefully, because it's pretty nice setup.
Yeah, it's a just over $200 camera.
Yeah, I've been liking that. The pictures that you've been posting has been pretty high quality.
They are. Yeah. I've had really good luck with mine. I'll say that. It's a botch job tonight.
No, can't say that.
It's good material, man. That's
You
great.
can't say that.
I don't know what it is, but Nick, you get my side splitting sometimes.
I'm sorry. I hope I'm invited again.
I think everybody just needs to sleep on it.
Yeah, it's been long days, and we covered a lot of good deer talk.
So, I will run the contest for a week. So, the date that this episode will air will be, and it's always weird because we record these and then we publish them on a different day. So when you're doing something like this, that's kind of time sensitive. This episode will be available. It'll be Tuesday morning, the 29th. So I will announce the winner. You'll have a week to enter, and you can do any three of those. Share the Instagram post for the show, share the Facebook post for the show, or go to iTunes and leave a ranking and a review. And then message us on Facebook or Instagram or at deerhunterpodcast@outlook.com. Let us know which ones you did. It'll be 100% honor system. I don't have time to chase all you guys down, and guys and gals, and make sure everybody's playing fair. But I'll check them all out. I'll have you guys look at it too. We'll make sure there'll be
send me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Somebody will hear me say that and go, yeah, I'm just going to tell them I did all three. We'll investigate it all.
I'd like another Exodus cam.
So what I'll do is I'll put a little clip in before the Dan Infault episode next week and announce the winner.
Nice.
And it'll be just a random drawing. So if you do all three things, then I'll write your name on 3 pieces of paper and put it in the hat 3 times. And I don't know how, especially with the ridiculousness of how this whole thing was announced, how many people will take us seriously and go through the effort to enter the contest.
I'd be more apt to continue to listen.
I think so. I mean, we're having a good time over here.
We are.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You are.
I am.
I'm sitting here sweating bullets.
Why?
I'm kidding.
You gotta go potty?
This is like the most professional thing I've tried to do with the podcast yet.
Well,
and then I get
don't
that.
expect anything super professional from this group of guys. We get by, but that's about the best.
Come as you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we will, I'll ship out a brand new Exodus Lift 2, and it'll be yours.
Nice.
5-year warranty. We'll start, you can fill out the warranty card when you get the camera, right. And the 5-year warranty will start when you register it.
Let's talk about the warranty. 5-year, no questions. It says no BS.
No BS warranty, 5 years if you have a problem with the camera.
And I thought it was interesting, too.
So it doesn't matter if you just get the camera, it's brand new and you have a problem, or if it's 4.5 years later and you have a problem with the camera, it's covered. So most people that listen to that probably know. If you want any information on Exodus, go to their website, just search Exodus. Go to Google Exodus Outdoors Gear, and check out the Lift 2. And 1080 video.
Yeah, 1080 video, 12 megapixel pictures.
Fast trigger speed too.
12,
I think it's got good trigger speed.
12, 8, and 5, right?
Yeah, there's several settings. I think 12, 8, and 5, and obviously you get more pictures on your card, the lower megapixel.
Black flash.
Yeah.
Anything else?
They have a 50% off replacement on theft,
Yep.
which is pretty good. I mean, with all the guys that are hunting public land.
Yeah, you can go.
Unfortunate, but
You can go to deerhunter_podcast and see some of the photos from my camera and some of my friends' cameras that we've picked up, and see kind of the quality of the photos are amazing. They really are. I mean, they're just look awesome. So my camera's actually sitting right now. It's been sitting for about 6 weeks in hybrid mode. So it takes 2 photos and then starts a 30-second video.
wow.
I'm excited to get that.
Nice.
Yeah.
You haven't checked it? In
What,
6
did you
weeks?
set yours
I
up
haven't
on
checked it in 6 weeks now.
trails or food sources or?
It's on a trail in a creek with a little, and on the creek bank it has like a little flat spot, and I put a mineral site there.
Nice.
Yep.
Does it look like a good activity in the area, I'm sure?
It historically has been a pretty ridiculous spot of activity. So it's
Can't wait.
comes out of a little tiny bedding area and piles into a big cornfield. So it should have some sweet photos on it, some sweet videos. So, yeah. We'll see if anybody enters.
You know what?
You guys will, right?
I think I'm going to enter. Yeah.
You're excluded. We don't need more trail cameras sitting at home collecting dust.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want anybody to bring that up. Yeah, I got my Exodus camera.
A couple months ago.
It can't be that long.
Yep, it
Okay,
was.
a couple
Been
months
About a
ago,
month.
yeah.
I remember the episode.
And I've been working so crazy, and I'm so ashamed, but it's sitting in the box. I brought it to work, and I set it up in our brake trailer. I got some good photos in there.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought you took some photos or something.
Yeah, I was showing some guys at work. Super impressed. Another guy that hunts Ohio has been very successful down there. I'm trying to kind of talk him into using them because I think they're cool cameras, and I think I like what the guys there stand for, and it seems like they're a bunch of good dudes, so I like to support them, what they're doing. But I'm not using my trail cam.
Get some batteries in it, get SD card in it.
I've got
get
2
some
SD
photos.
batteries, or
Yeah,
2
you-
cards, and 2. It's full of batteries right now. So
You really do need to get it out because you could put it in a spot where you could definitely have some pictures.
I have to get to my other friend Nick. That we hunt his property. We've seen some of the photos on the property. I've actually got a different trail cam set up on my tree stand location where one of those photos came from.
Right.
So we need to get another one out there. I've been meaning to hook up with them, and I wanted to get some more of that bone hog from you.
You can pick some mineral up.
Yeah,
Yep. All right, let's wrap up.
please.
Anybody that listened to the entire show and has made it to this point and wants to do the show a huge favor, share any of our content on any of the social media outlets. We are now on Pinterest.
Get out.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Got a bunch of housewives following the show. Post pictures of the
Not bad.
camper. My wife made some cookies and posted that on my Pinterest
Come on.
and stuff. Yeah,
That
got
is a
bunch
gold
of
mine
likes.
for
Why don't you ever bring
recipes.
cookies in here for our podcast?
It's just I'm trying to think of what you call it. You're not eating cookies on my podcast. It's pretty much that simple.
Who brings cookies to
Come
a
on.
podcast?
I'm gonna bring them next time.
You made a Twitter
Pretzels.
page, right?
Yep, on Twitter at Deer Podcast.
At Deer Podcast.
With the @ symbol or AT?
Follow us.
Obviously, Bomber's not on Twitter. Anybody
I'm not on Twitter either. I don't have any.
Follow
idea.
us and our president.
Yeah.
And then we're on Instagram at deerhunter_podcast.
And we're working on YouTube right now, too. So,
Yeah.
like I said, there's no content up there yet. But hopefully this episode will be the first one that makes the video feed up there.
The Notorious Giggles episode.
Well, as we're recording this, we're I don't know how long. Yeah, you might have this up by the time people listen to this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It'll be close.
We'll put a video up, just something random anyways. Just
Yeah, I'd like to do a video of opening up one of the Exodus cameras, just so people can see when you unbox one, what comes in the package, and then go through like a general setup of the camera,
It's
and
impressive.
then
Little
Yeah,
tutorial.
we'll do that.
also
We're gonna-
do one
let's
maybe
do that.
of because some of the cameras need a firmware update that you can download right from Exodus site, and maybe do like a step-by-step on how to get through that firmware update, because it can be a little bit of a bear if you don't know how to do the
Yeah, if you're not computer savvy.
so
But if you do, it's actually it's easier than what I thought it was going to be.
It is
pretty
it's
slick
not
how
hard.
you put the firmware on the SD card. Because
Yeah.
I was envisioning you're going to have to bring the camera in.
No.
Yeah.
You
just-
never have to pull the thing out of the field. But
Yep. All you do is put the update on the SD card, take the SD card out, put it in the camera, and it downloads the software right into it. It's pretty slick.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to get around to making a video of actually walking everybody through downloading the file, how you got to extract it and everything. So it'll be hopefully easy for people who are not so tech savvy to get through it all, because
Yeah. No, I don't
lost.
expect people to know how
no,
to do that.
I mean, obviously I can get through it a little bit, but I tinker around with that stuff more than most people, so
right.
should be able to break it down in a fairly easy manner for people
yeah.
to digest.
We'll
and
try to
through
get
it.
that out as soon as possible.
Yep.
I'll help you do that. So, and Facebook, Deer Hunter Podcast. It's pretty simple to find.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for coming over. I guess.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
You're not sure, buddy. You're like, I don't know if I should have done that.
No regrets, right?
No regrets.
All right,
No
fists
going
in.
back. We'll fix it
Hands
all
in.
in post.
Yeah, fix it. in
No, it was a
post.
good time.
No.
I appreciate the invite.
I will say this though too, and
been a long
I haven't
time.
been good about saying it at all. But anybody that's been following the show and giving us downloads and hitting up on the social media, thank you.
Yeah,
It's
for
been
sure.
cool. The show's been growing. The downloads are growing dramatically. People are contacting us week in and week out with some questions and stuff, and that's what I want to see. I want to build this into a community.
It would
Says-
be awesome to get to the point where we could do like a Q&A type deal
Yep.
to be pretty entertaining, I think.
And we'll
so.
mention
Oh my
too
gosh.
that I will, and it sounds like a couple of us will be at the Michigan Backcountry Hunters and Anglers Rendezvous.
Yep.
That's happening
September 23rd.
September 23rd at the details are on I'm sure on all the Michigan BHA.
Yeah, we'll make sure to share them on all of the social media feeds.
But we're
for
gonna
the podcast too.
we'll be
so.
there, and we're gonna do a podcast or two from there, and that's gonna be an awesome weekend.
Oh,
That'd be
for
a good time.
sure.
Can't wait to get together with the BHA crew, man.
Look forward to it. Those guys are a blast.
Mr. Meekoff be there.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
he's
Cool.
setting. I mean, that guy's working his tail off. to get The
Yeah.
whole thing.
But amongst other things, that guy's an animal.
Yeah, getting all that. He's a big part of all that stuff happening.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we'll hopefully be doing a podcast from there. But yeah, I just want to say thanks a lot to anybody that's following the show. So, with that being said, next week will be the Dan Infault episode, and tune in for it because it's a good one. And then after that, we got the Sam Ubel and his buddy James, and supposedly having Mark Kenyon on here pretty quick, and got a couple other guys lined up. Pretty much got the show booked up into October, into hunting season, and then from there, I'm gonna kind of get away from traveling and having guests, and it'll be more of just a hunting stories documentation of our hunting season and going through there until we get out of hunting season and back into the trade shows, and we traveling around and talking with companies and people and things like that, and just following along through the season. That's kind of the plan. So
Cool.
Awesome.
all right, wrapping it up. Thanks for listening.
Sweet.
Have a good.